for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump threatens Iran strikes if Iran doesn't accept a peace deal as the U.S. military fires on an Iranian-flagged oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman, Force Central Command says, breaching the U.S. blockade of Iran's ports. This as the president thanks America's military mothers.
There's nothing more important than military moms.
President Trump hosting a Military Mother's Day event in the East Room of the White House, focusing on moms whose sons and daughters are serving in the Middle East.
We're doing very well in Iran. It's going very smoothly, and we'll see what happens. They want to make a deal. They want to negotiate.
And Trump added military mothers are a big part of that. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is being questioned by members of the House Oversight Committee about his relationship with late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California has accused Lutnick of changing his story as new facts have emerged. He tells reporters during a break in the session,
if Donald Trump had seen the video transcript, he would have fired Howard Lutnick. It was really embarrassing.
Lutnick has told the committee that he and Epstein had neither a personal nor professional relationship during the 14 years they were neighbors. The White House is out with a new counterterrorism strategy. CBS's Jennifer Jacobs.
Seb Gorka, the White House's senior counterterrorism advisor, told reporters that the U.S. wants allied countries to bring more to the table if they want to be viewed as, quote, serious nations. The U.S. counterterrorism strategy also aims to cripple left-wing extremist efforts. Gorka said it isn't targeted at specific labeled groups, but anyone who thinks that violence for political purposes is justified. Jennifer Jacobs, CBS News, the White House.
The FBI has served a search warrant at the office of the Virginia Senate leader as part of a reported corruption investigation. The search at Senator L. Luis Lucas's district office in Portsmouth comes after the Democrat helped lead the state's redistricting effort. WTKR-TV's Brendan Ponton.
Luis Lucas has been a state senator for decades. She was on the city council before that. She's been a political figure here forever. And a lot of people are really coming by and asking us what's going on. Luis Lucas herself, I haven't seen her in a little bit, but she has been in the area.
It still looks like winter in Colorado, but according to CBS News Colorado meteorologist Joe Ruck in Rocky Mountain National Park.
2 different layers of snow. The first one, light and fluffy, not as much water content. As you get down towards the surface, you get the heavier water content where I can make a snowball. That's the snow that's putting a dent in our drought.
Stocks are up on Wall Street and oil is down. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
King County's assessor ordered to wear an ankle monitor. Details straight ahead, but first your KIRO News Radio traffic. It's brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Heading into Seattle from the north end, South 5, just past 520. We have a couple vehicles on your left shoulder from an earlier collision. There's a chance we could see that left lane blocked once tows arrive. Traffic is backed up into Northgate, Linwood to Seattle, right around a half-hour commute. That's a 10-minute delay. North 5, we're not doing too bad. You're going to slow a bit between the West Seattle Bridge just past I-90, and then a brief backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. 15 minutes to get through downtown here. And up at Snoqualmie, the State Route 18 on-ramp to westbound 90 just reopened about a half hour ago after crews shut it down for about a couple hours to clean up a spilled load of wet concrete. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, Carpet Liquidators has got you covered.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. King County Assessor John Wilson is now being ordered to wear a GPS ankle monitor after a judge said she no longer trusts him to follow court orders. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports Wilson is facing 2 misdemeanor domestic violence charges tied to alleged violation of a no-contact order.
A judge ordered Wilson wear an ankle monitor after he appeared to brag on social media about not having to wear one after being arrested last summer. Back then, Wilson cited health problems that required him to wear compression socks and soak his legs every day. Hours after that court hearing, he appeared to have posted 2 photos, sitting in a hot tub, one captioned, "Great to soak my legs after a very productive and successful week." Wilson faces 2 misdemeanor domestic violence charges for allegedly violating a no-contact order involving his ex-fiancée. He pleaded not guilty to those charges. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Everett police are investigating a van fire and explosion in the parking lot of their South Precinct.
Around 9:15 Tuesday night, a white van pulled into the precinct parking lot along Everett Mall Way.
Officers then heard an explosion coming from the van, which was engulfed in flames. The 35-year-old driver was taken into custody and booked into jail for first-degree arson. Police say the blast was caused by the fire overpressuring the van's seals, causing them to rupture. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The man accused of shooting a 2-year-old in the head at the Olympic National Forest is out of jail. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has details.
Deputies say the man fired shots at a Jeep as it was driving away after an argument on Sunday. The toddler had to be airlifted to the hospital. Court documents say deputies found 17 shell casings. The suspect said the Jeep had driven at his mother and he was firing to protect his mom. The judge released him without bail Monday. He's set to be arraigned May 11th.
Parents are being warned about a nationwide infant formula recall involving products sold through Amazon. The A2 Milk Company voluntarily recalled 3 batches of its Platinum Premium infant formula after possible contamination with a toxin linked to foodborne illness. The FDA says about 16,000 units were sold to customers in the U.S. While no illnesses have been reported, infants are considered at high risk. We have more information on these affected products at mynorthwest.com. Now let's check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Mostly cloudy today, 63 for our high this afternoon, and a similar forecast through Friday. Mother's Day weekend brings a little more sun and low 70s, right around 50 overnights. 57 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Jake Skorheim sitting right here next to Spike O'Neill.
Hey, brother.
Man, we got a good show every day.
It is.
People think I'm just saying that, but we wouldn't come up. We'd literally just be sitting in our desks slugs if we weren't excited to be in here and doing the show.
Well, we have a set amount of time. We have a limited amount of opportunity to bring stories to the city.
Yeah.
And we take a great painstaking care to decide what matters and what's not worth your time as an audience.
We don't want to waste your time, so let's get right to it. First things first, this is, how many days are we away from the World Cup? Is it June 11th? Is that when it kicks off? So we're almost exactly a month. Is that right? June 11th? Does that sound right?
World Cup or Seattle? World Cup Seattle. Two different numbers.
World Cup Seattle. Is that July?
It's June. No, it's June. I think you're about a month. You're about a month out.
About a month. All right. World Cup Seattle. World Cup. We're about a month out, and you guys might remember, we talked about this probably about a month ago, and I saw an article this morning that confirmed some kind of troubling news that I overheard from an insider who was telling me, here was the setup. I'll tell you, I'll give you this inside information. I know a guy, I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he does not want me sharing the information, I'm sure, but he's an insider in the hotel industry. And at the time, this is about a month ago, at the time, he was saying, yeah, these numbers, these hotel booking numbers, they're not materializing like these hotels want them to. Because everybody was told, like, hey, there's going to be this massive rush of people who are going to descend upon Seattle and any World Cup town. I think there's 11 World Cup host cities this year. And they're going to descend on these towns, and it means big business for local hotels, local restaurants, because you're going to have this huge influx of tourists.
Well, they told us an estimated 750,000 visitors.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about extra ferries or a full fleet of ferries.
That's right.
Extra
I forgot
staff.
about that.
Extra ferry crews just standing by.
Just ready to go.
Just in case.
Something they've never accomplished.
For us.
Taxpayers.
No.
For tourists, yes.
But for World Cup fans, they're rolling out the red carpets. They put up those informational kiosks downtown.
There's a big
to help these
World
massive
Cup statue
visitors
down there. Yeah,
it's everywhere.
So I also want to say, I love World Cup. I get excited about it. It's every 4 years. It's a big event. It's fun. I'm a big fan, and I hope that it's a smashing success.
It's looking more and more like I might be able to enjoy it in person.
You might be able to.
I might be able to actually get a hotel room.
All right, so here was my insider telling me 2 months out that hotel bookings, he said at the time, he goes, yeah, they're like 60% less than what everybody was anticipating. And the way that these hotels make their money, it's funny because we always talk about like surge pricing being a bad thing, but we don't have a problem with it with things like hotels.
When it's somebody else that we're dinging. When it's a visitor to the city.
When it's not us. When it's not us.
Let's tack those guys.
So what hotels were doing is hotels were saying like, hey, during this peak times, and they do this in summertime. Like I don't have any problems with businesses doing this. It makes sense.
I can get a beach rental in February for next to nothing.
100%.
Next to nothing.
That's exactly it. So what hotels were doing is to say we're gonna get our prices up really high because there's going to be this massive demand, 750,000 people coming into town. They got to stay somewhere. And then we're also not just going to allow people to book for the night. We want to make sure that if they're going to be here, we're going to do like blocking off for 3 days, like minimum rental of 3 days for these hotel rooms. And then you also have Airbnb stepping in and these other rental properties saying, hey guys, we need more houses available. We want to encourage you guys. We'll even give you bonus credits.
Sign on bonuses to become a new Airbnb or VRBO host household.
Because the demand is going to be so huge that we need the space. So that was 2 months out when we were talking about that on the show.
And the first day I did some quick checking. 19th of June is our first scheduled match here in Seattle.
June 19th, okay.
And we're looking at 44 days, roughly 44 days if you count today.
Sure.
To the first match away.
44 days. So we're getting close.
A month and a half.
A little over a month.
Yeah.
And so when my buddy was telling me about this, I was thinking to myself, man, that's really interesting that you're seeing lack of bookings. And I started thinking about that number, that 750,000 number.
Right.
Which again, I never even questioned because obviously we assume that the people telling us that a bunch of people are coming and they're going to spend $1 billion, they said. Everybody wants to believe that. And then I did some number crunching and I was like, well, how big is Lumen Field? Because there's only 6 games. And again, it won't be called Lumen Field. They're going to call it Seattle Stadium.
For naming rights. FIFA has the exclusive rights of any venue, at least as far as advertising and naming.
They don't want to share the name Lumen with the world.
Lumen didn't pay for World Cup coverage.
There you go. So they're going to change the name to Seattle just for temporarily. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing some number crunching. Lumen Field holds about 68,000, but you can get that number up to depending on the way that you want to organize seats and then down on the field. Because obviously, soccer pitch, it's a smaller thing.
Those super wealthy luxury boxes. Let's get closer
right
to the action.
Grass.
Right.
They can get that number up to about 72,000 according to their website.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was crunching those numbers and I was like, well, 6 matches at 72,000 max. That's like 430,000.
Yeah.
And that number is a lot smaller than the 750 that they're telling us. That's like 300,000 less.
We noticed that right out of the gate. Something just didn't add up.
So what are those 300,000 extra people supposed to be doing? And I was like, that can kind of account for some of those numbers that we're like seeing the lack of bookings. If you have almost half not showing up because they can't get tickets.
Well, that's the thing. Are they talking about, groups coming that don't have guaranteed tickets or coming on the chance of getting a ticket or is being
just to be part of the atmosphere,
being in the vibe of a World Cup match alone?
It's like a parent taking their daughter to Taylor Swift,
standing outside,
just outside hanging out.
And there's going to be massive view parties, scheduled events, coordinated with the games themselves, around that. So I can understand some puffery of the number, some higher expectations of the numbers.
320,000 extra people.
That's almost doubling.
Almost doubling. So then I see this Forbes article. I'm hoping that that's just like, all right, 2 months out. People haven't booked yet. They wait till the last minute to get the deals, whatever. And then I see this Forbes article this morning. Listen to this. And this is not, I'm hoping that this is wrong, but it sounds pretty legit.
Forbes is a pretty reputable.
Yeah. Most people see Forbes, they go, I'll believe that.
Yeah.
So Forbes talked to the American Hotel and Lodging Association, the AHLA, and they said that about 80% of hoteliers, so hotels in the U.S., in the 11 World Cup host cities, they're saying that the bookings are tracking way below original forecasts. And in some cities, and they name Seattle on one of these lists, they say that it's looking like a, quote, non-event, meaning that they're looking at these bookings, they're saying they're not even, and in some cases, they're not even as much as they would be normally in a summertime when people might just be enjoying tourist season. And the reason that could be is because everybody gets scared away thinking, well, the prices are going to be so high. There's going to be all these tourists for World Cup. We don't want to go visit a World Cup city if we're not going to be in the World Cup, like seeing a match. And then it's just this bad snowball effect. And now people are trying to figure out, like, are these numbers legit? Are deals to be had? So I started looking at the Airbnb numbers. And Airbnb, Wall Street Journal just had this big piece on Airbnb who details a woman who kind of bought into the fervor about booking her house out for World Cup.
Becoming a host home.
A host home. Like we said, they're offering incentives. And so she said, hey, you know what? I'm going to make my home the most appealing home I can. So I'm going to do, and I wouldn't have recommended this, but she did it, thinking she'd get the money back. She invested $60,000. I know, it's a
Did
lot
she
of money.
build a accessory dwelling unit?
That's what it seems
I
like.
didn't have a guest room, so I built one.
Here's what she did.
With a restroom.
She put in, she probably saw this as an opportunity. I don't fault her. She saw this as an opportunity. I want to update my house. I want to get it paid for. If I can rent it out for higher, then it's going to justify the cost.
They were talking about maybe as much as $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a week.
100%.
For these rental properties in Seattle.
In her case, she thought she was going to be able to get, according to Airbnb, they told her that she could get somewhere around $4,500 a week for her place. So what she did was she put in new floors. She relit the rooms. She replaced the vanities. These are all big projects. She put in new countertops, faucets, and she's watching as all of these homes around her, monitoring for how their prices are going to go. And so she gets her numbers. Great, I'm going to make a ton of money.
Or she's going to get an updated home, and guests are going to pay for it.
Yeah, 100%. It's like having a rental house.
Yeah.
Someone else is paying your mortgage. The problem is she has no bookings. So she has invested like $60,000 and nobody's booked her house. And now she's looking around like, where are all these bookings that I was promised? And it leads me to ask, like, where was the information not coming in where the city or somebody made the estimation, $750,000? Where did that come from? Like, where did they get that number? We know it's not from seats. So where did they get the 750 number that then justifies all of the fervor, all of the excitement, all of the investment that local businesses, tax dollars have gone into to upgrade things? If that doesn't materialize, and if this Forbes article is correct, like, what's the city going to do? What do you do in a situation like that? You just eat the cost?
Well, the city, this is the kind of political questions we ask quite often. The city knows that the World Cup is coming. They're booked for 6 games. They want to invest. They want to invest in the infrastructure of the city, much like this homeowner did,
sure,
but from a citywide perspective. And they've got to justify the amount of money they want to invest in the city.
Yeah.
So they give us numbers. And these numbers didn't just come out of thin air. There's a World Cup Seattle Planning Commission that has experts on tourism in Seattle, about World Cup play itself, visitors to the World Cup play, using historical numbers and
supposedly experts.
That's the thing. Are they puffing the numbers up to justify what the city needed to spend or wanted to spend?
That's what I'm wondering as I'm looking at these numbers, because you think about the thing that I would compare it to, and I wrote an article about this today. Please share it with your friends. You can text soccer to 888-973-5476. Soccer, 888-973-5476. Do you ever, whenever they do Olympics, like when a host city gets the Olympics, you bid for the Olympics, you make big presentations. It's a really big deal. There's committees who work for years and years and years leading up to an Olympic Games.
Oh, yeah, they make these decisions, you're right, decade ahead of time.
Los Angeles right now is going to host is it the 28 Olympics? When's the next Olympics in Los Angeles? It's soon. I think 28 Olympics.
Is it 28? I thought it was 26. Or not 26, I'm sorry, 28, yeah, right.
28.
We're in
26.
26.
Whatever the next Olympics is. Yeah, whatever the next
the
one.
LA Olympics.
LA Olympics. There's a huge bunch of infrastructure dollars that have to go into that. In fact, it becomes a local story where locals are like, listen, you're taxing us. A lot of it's federal. You do get federal dollars too, which obviously, that's great. But a lot of those local dollars are tax dollars that are justified because they say, we're going to get so many people coming in. It's going to be great for the local economy. And then often what you see happen is these host cities lose money because the infrastructure, especially around the Olympics, which is even bigger than the World Cup.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure that's required by the International Olympic Committee for a host city to come up with is just really, really pricey and expensive. Most people don't have the number of venues required for the specific sports that need to happen simultaneously.
Especially with Olympics because of the variety of elements involved in Olympic competition.
Especially Winter Olympics.
Right.
But yeah.
And cities, at least as far as Olympic projections go, they're now leaning toward pre-existing venues.
Sure.
Giving those cities a more... Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you look
refurbish.
You look at the ghost cities of Olympics past and some of the infrastructure money that was spent on bobsled tracks overgrown with and whatnots, empty stadiums, all the things that countries and cities do.
Do you remember the Bird's Nest in Beijing?
Yes.
It was this beautiful, giant, gorgeous stadium. And wasn't that where, what's his face? The swimming guy.
Phelps.
Phelps won all his medals.
Yeah.
He had an unbelievable, Olympics. Just a couple of years after that, because you can't support that infrastructure. Now, China, they don't care as much.
People aren't coming for other. Because often think, we'll get bobsled tourism all the time.
Yeah,
no, you
forever.
Won't. No, you won't.
But you won't. And then they end up not being able to use those facilities, and then it's really expensive to upkeep those things, so they just shut them down, and then they just kind of waste away. Yeah. It's amazing how fast nature reclaims things. It's really bizarre. You can go down a deep rabbit hole on YouTube looking at old Olympic venues.
So there a couple great questions in this story is the lower expectations now from original projections, is that people worried about not being able to afford to go? You see the price of tickets going through the roof with these dynamic pricing.
Yeah, it's a good question.
When you're thinking about taking your family to World Cup competition, the once in a lifetime, it's coming to America. It's coming to the West Coast of America, coming to Canada and Mexico. I'm going to take my family, but tickets are what, $3,000 a piece? Tickets are
and hotel prices are way up.
And is it going to be a $10,000, $15,000 investment to take my family to see a World Cup game?
I don't see how a lot of people. Most people can't justify that.
Most people can't. Are those projections what make these undermining the projections?
I think what happened here. Yeah, I think what happened is this. And again, this is all just still out in the ether. We don't know if this is going to come to fruition, and we hope it doesn't.
But you would think 44 days out, they'd have some numbers.
Yeah, they'd have some numbers. They'd have some solid bookings. If I was somebody who was stone cold determined to be at the World Cup and I didn't live locally where I can just drive down to a game, I would book ahead of time with my friends, and we'd make sure we had everything locked up.
Sure.
Based on the stories they've been telling us, which is that you better get in now because it's going to be impossible. I would guess that 750 number, I don't know where they got that number from, but I think that number was a mistake. Just based on the tickets alone that it will be available to see a match, I think the 750 number is a massive mistake. And then that just has a cascading effect where the next thing is, okay, well, if it's 750, look, how many hotel rooms do we have available any given night in Seattle? And I don't know that number, but 750,000 people added to the city of Seattle, that fills up those rooms pretty fast.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
And then every hotel goes, well, hey, great, we're going to be competing. Less of something means everything could get a little pricier, and that's good for business.
Yeah.
Let's just raise those costs ahead of time. And then people like you and I, who might have somebody who's thinking about coming in from out of town, who wants to stay at a hotel, we go, hey, you know what? These hotel prices are crazy. Don't book the hotel. Just stay with us. Mm-hmm. So that's possible.
That's
that could be
possible, too. You're right. Absorbing guests to the city. Yeah.
Or people who are jumping into the
Airbnb,
the
VRBO,
and saying hey, I'm going to open my house up and get ready and be able to host people.
A little bit of each one of those elements are triggering into these lowered projected numbers.
But the problem is these here's a Reddit, Airbnb Reddit from somebody who says that they're a host. This is in Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm a host in the ATL, and my properties are in the 1% of listings in the area. I assume that just means they're really nice. 1% of listings.
Yeah, up 1%ers.
Like upper crust. Yeah, very desirable. I was invited.
Superhost, they call those sometimes.
Superhost, yeah. They said they were invited by Airbnb to be a host at the World Cup. They used all the forecasting and everything to figure out how much their rates were going to be, and nada. They're not getting anybody who's booking their place. It's just another story like Wall Street Journal with that lady they're like, where are the people? And I'm sitting here going there's a lot of restaurants that have made investments in seating areas, in updating
their facilities. You bet. Bring an extra staff in for that 6 weeks.
It's the kind of thing you hope it's not true. We're seeing it we're seeing it coming. We're like, I hope that's not the case. But
isn't it always somewhere between the pie in the sky, 75,000, full ferry capacity expectations, and what actually happens is you're not going to see a third empty stadiums for World Cup play. You're not going to see that.
Well, the local, I would imagine, if they actually don't have tickets sold, then locals will
show
up.
Last minute deals will be available.
Good deal.
And maybe that's the case. Maybe that they will all sell up with last minute deals. People are smart to wait and wait it out and not buy into the hype.
Maybe that's what's happening. Anyway, time will tell. I hope they're very successful because the World Cup's fun, and I hope they make a ton of money. All the people working, all the businesses, I hope they're making a ton of money. All right, Spike, what do we got coming up?
Oh, coming up, Luke Ducey's going to come in with us and tell us something because we love Luke Ducey's coming on the show.
Love him.
King County Assessor's got some new accessories. Trying to be as nice as I can here.
That's very generous.
Accessories. We've got an updated situation on King County Assessor John Wilson.
Perfect. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. Wednesday, May 13th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Dr. Wagner, what joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Join his free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, May 13th. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A shocking incident out of Spokane County is caught on camera showing a woman driving onto a sidewalk and chasing a child on a dirt bike with her car. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gouchard reports.
She's trying to run. Oh my God.
Deputies say 56-year-old Wendy Clemente nearly hit the child during the April 28th encounter.
Oh my God!
Calling the situation extremely dangerous. Authorities say the child was able to escape without injuries, but the situation didn't end there. About 25 minutes later, Clemente was found at a nearby home where she allegedly tried to enter the property and appeared intoxicated. She was arrested and now faces charges including attempted assault, DUI, trespassing, and has since been released pending further investigation. Katrina Gouchard, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle is planning to spend at least $32 million to get ready for the World Cup. The Seattle Times reports about $14 million comes straight from the city's budget, with grants covering the rest. A big chunk goes to security. One grant alone puts $8.6 million toward police overtime. City leaders say the trade-off is worth it. Visit Seattle estimates a tournament could bring in more than $800 million. If you were hit by those December storms, you have more time to file your taxes. The IRS now says Washington residents in disaster areas have until August 5th to file federal returns and make payments. That pushes back an earlier deadline of May 1st. The extension covers counties across the state, including King, Pierce, Snohomish, and Skagit. 25 tribal nations qualify too. And you don't have to do a thing to get the extra time. The IRS says it automatically applies the extension for people in covered areas. Seattle police arrested a 32-year-old man after a frightening incident in a secured apartment parking garage in Little Saigon Wednesday afternoon. Officers say the man was prowling a woman's car when he pulled a knife and threatened her, then ran off. He was caught a short time later near 10th and South Jackson. SPD Detective Eric Munoz on charges.
When a resident has a parking garage attached to their residential area, basically it's a secured parking lot, so that car prowl automatically becomes felony burglary.
Fortunately, the woman was unharmed. A check on Wall Street. Stocks are rallying this afternoon on U.S.-Iran talks. S&P 500 up 102, the Dow up 685, and the NASDAQ up nearly 490. And now look at your KIRO News Radio traffic, brought to you by Seattle Sports. In Renton, North 405 and Northeast 30th, an earlier blocking collision now partially blocks your off-ramp. You're bumper-to-bumper to the Maple Valley Highway, Renton to Bellevue, just under 20 minutes. South 5 into Seattle, we're crowded from 85th to the Convention Center. We cleared that earlier crash near 520. Linwood to Seattle, just under a half hour. And North 5 are doing pretty good. You are slow from the West Seattle Bridge, just past I-90. And a brief backup there at the Ship Canal Bridge. 15 minutes to get through downtown here. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. 63 and cloudy today, mixed with some short-lived sun breaks. A similar forecast through Friday before we see more sun and warmer temps this weekend. Cloudy and 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Great show today. Lots of stuff to get to. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. I don't have your sounder here, Luke. I apologize. But Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio reporter, joins us right now. 3 days in a row. Lucky Ducks.
It's got to be a record.
We call that a triple deuce.
Triple
deuce.
Triple deuce.
Sounds like a cool bar, doesn't it? The
Triple Deuce. That's the sequel to Roadhouse.
That would be a great
Deuce,
sequel.
Right?
Triple Deuce. All right, Luke. He's like, can we please get to actual stuff? Can you guys stop talking about Roadhouse, please?
Never.
All right, Luke, King County Assessor John Wilson.
John Wilson. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you guys in just a second. I had him on my show in the middle of all this stuff that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, I remember that episode. I remember he came on with you.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But, Luke, tell us your stuff first. I want to hear about this.
Well, he's now being ordered to wear a GPS ankle monitor after a judge said that she no longer trusts him to follow court orders. You might know this and might remember he's facing 2 misdemeanor domestic violence charges tied to alleged violations of a no-contact order with his ex-fiancée. So the judge in this case said she doesn't think John Wilson has taken the court seriously. And she said, and this happened yesterday, she said that she has less confidence that he will follow that no-contact order and stay away. Here, let's just do this. If you're watching on the YouTube feed, this is why, really. This is why.
Don't show yet. Don't show yet.
Don't show yet?
I want to give people a chance.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you can
get ready.
Find us on YouTube.
Go
to youtube.com, search KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Couple seconds of backstory while they search.
Jake and Spike show will pop up. You can watch. You just click on us live. Watch live. And you're about to show us a picture that John Wilson sent to who?
Some background. Well, out. He just sent it out. It was a social media post.
To everybody.
Proud. To the world. To answer your question, to the world.
No.
Where Wilson appeared to brag about not having to wear an ankle monitor after being arrested last summer. So back then, he cited health problems that require him to wear compression socks and to soak his legs every day. Then hours after that court hearing, he appeared to have posted 2 photos on social media sitting in a hot tub. One of the photos shows a caption that says, "Great to soak my legs after a very productive and successful week."
There he is, folks.
And
I'm going to turn and watch this at the same time that you guys do. 'Cause I haven't seen these
ready?
yet.
In 3, 2, 1.
Yikes.
Yeah, look at that.
You know what?
That's
I would
great.
do fully neck up if I were him going forward.
No, he's
I would
confident.
never do anything below the beard, and that would be my recommendation. How old a man is he? He's about 77. Is that my guess?
I don't know his age. I'm sure
Can you
we
look
could
that
probably
up?
look. We could
I'll
probably
bet you.
look it up.
Let's all take a guess.
Okay.
I'm going to guess 77
he's a
years
politician.
young.
I need to know some background information. Is this on planet Earth?
This is on planet Earth.
Okay, so
In
the
fact,
gravity-
you can see
There's a
Space
space
Needle in the
needle in the
background.
background.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so given the gravity of planet Earth and the saggage of his upper body, I'm going to guess, 74.
Oh, 74.
74.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luke, you want to take a guess? You want to hazard a guess?
Sure, I would say 70s for sure, early to mid 70s.
But we're not ageist. That's not the issue.
No,
the issue is
not
not
at
his
all.
ability.
It's based on
Right.
70-year-olds that I've seen.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
He's no Arnold. I'll tell you what. Arnold Schwarzenegger, that guy, he's still looking good.
It's funny. They have the same commitment level, the same dedication to the cause. Arnold's his health. This guy's is
something else.
Violating protection orders.
Allegedly?
Allegedly.
Or did it happen?
Let me say this real fast, that he did plead guilty. I'm sorry, excuse me, stop. Not guilty. I almost screwed that up. He pleaded not guilty. Not guilty to those charges.
Okay.
Sorry.
Laura, how old is he?
72.
72. What did you say? You said 70?
74.
74, and you
I said early 70s and kind of didn't really count.
Spike
but-
wins.
You control the board, Luke. You pick next category.
Okay.
He is still the King County Assessor.
He is politically appointed.
That's what blows my mind.
So the reason this guy's in the news so much is he had a couple of bad run-ins with not how do we describe
He had relationship
this in a way that we're not
issues.
going to be sued.
Okay, was that right? Can I say
His former significant other
Mm-hmm.
had a number of restraining orders against him. Is that correct? Was it more than one?
There were interactions, the nature of which led to her seeking no contact orders, and they were granted.
Okay, so he came in at one point. There was a he said, she said moment.
He can't come within 1,000 feet of her or her home.
Yes. So there was a moment where he was saying things, she was saying things. We were hearing from her side because she had done an interview with somebody on one of the earlier shows of the day. And so I reached out to his office and I said, hey, does he want to come in and talk about these? I mean, that's It's exactly why KIRO is so great, is we get a chance to interact with the people who are in the news and in a way that, the listener doesn't have time to, because they have like real lives with actual work. And we're just sitting here like talking to people. So he goes, yeah, I'm going to come in right now and chat with you.
Let me just towel off, he said.
Yeah.
Let me hop out of
He goes, let me send you a pic. No, he didn't say that. And so please stop making that noise. Please stop making that noise.
He's media savvy. He's got a lot of posts on social as well to let people know what he's doing from his day-to-day schedule.
I made an assessment of this guy based on, so he came in here and he had a conversation with me. And he shows me, he goes, I got all these text messages to show that our relationship was back with this woman in question. They were back and forth, and we were on again, off again, but it was a mutual thing, he was saying. And clearly they had a long-standing relationship. And
they were engaged, his fiancé.
I believe they were engaged.
Yeah.
That's how it's described, but I believe it didn't. At one point, she say that there was no relationship, and
then she broke
he was
things
trying
up.
to prove it or something.
Yeah, there was all this stuff. Anyway, so he comes on and he shows me this text chain that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't speak to the legitimacy of the text chain, because you can make a text chain if you really want to with people who don't exist, and you could say, like, I could say right now that I'm texting all of these things with Luke, and he may not have texted me at all. I could just create a contact and
and put Luke Ducey at the top.
Put his name, and if I wanted to, whatever. So he shows me this text chain. He's 70 at the time. This is like a year ago. So he's 71 at the time. Teenagers are not texting as much as this guy was texting in there. And that raised a red flag with me. I was like, who's spending this much time on a text chain? I couldn't believe that. And then now you're showing me these social media pictures where he's posting photos of himself.
Well, and bragging about the fact that he doesn't have to wear this ankle monitor, and that was too much for the court.
So, yeah, the judge in this case kind of looked at that was a point in that hearing yesterday, and I think it looks like the judge kind of agreed and said, I can't trust that you're going to follow
compression
a court order.
sock be damned.
And this is also something we should mention as well, that the King County Council has now voted unanimously twice for Wilson to resign. They can't force him to resign, but there's been a lot of pressure since those moments and those allegations, since you talked with him, to step down by a lot of people, including, and there have been allegations supported by multiple sources of low morale in his office because of the.
Well, yeah, heck yeah, it'd be low morale. I mean, just like you would naturally assume that if you work for a guy who is just the center of all this attention, wouldn't be good for the office, because the office of the assessor, and by all accounts, he's a pretty good assessor, right? I mean, from what I've heard, that's only one part of the job. You don't want the problem is you don't want your personal life being dragged into your public life.
Well, at what point does your judgment get called into question?
Oh, I mean, immediately.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you want confidence in the leader of your department, and you don't have the good sense to respect a court order of no contact, and that's a pretty low bar to clear. To have confidence in this guy to do his job. How is it that they're not able to remove him? Is it because he's an elected official?
Well, if he were a sheriff, they'd figure out a way to write a new law.
That issue's all over the map too. That law is ping-ponging all over the place.
Yeah, and an elected official at a very high level who assesses, doesn't set the mark for taxes, like here's what you're going to pay, but assesses values of things that will be taxed accordingly, is now walking around with an ankle.
Can you
monitor.
imagine for some? I mean, I don't live in King County, so I wouldn't have had the opportunity to vote for this
guy.
He's
my assessor.
Did you vote for him?
I don't know if I filled that far out down the
that's
ballot.
what I'm wondering. It's like, so for somebody who remembers, most people are not.
And with 7 votes total,
if you're doing the job
if
you're doing the job of assessor, right? Nobody knows who your name is.
Right, exactly.
The problem is that we all know who he is. He's not the governor. He's not the mayor. He's like 97th down the totem pole.
Page 3 on my ballot.
And
it's bringing a little flavor to the assessor's office.
I guess he's making it. I was going to say he's making it sexy again, but I don't want to say that. I've seen the pictures.
You saw the photo.
Yeah.
Well, it's the eye of the beholder. It's the eye of the beholder.
He's bringing assessing back.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Luke Ducey, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks
we appreciate it. Spike, what do we got next? We got some crazy stuff?
Nate was teasing the story about the woman chasing the kid on a bike, and we'll give you all the details. And will it surprise you to learn that it's in Eastern Washington? This is life in Cheney.
This was surprising to me, actually.
Good.
I was surprised by this.
This is a crazy story.
Nuts. Yeah, this is nuts. We're going to tell you about it next. Stick around.
we've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you can just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. With summer right around the corner, Valentine Roofing schedule, it's filling up fast. I'm going to give you 3 reasons that you should pick up the phone today and call Valentine Roofing. Number 1, there's still time to beat the summer rush. You can get your roof started in as little as 3 weeks. Number 2, when the weather gets really nice, you're going to be out in your backyard enjoying a barbecue instead of worrying about your roof. And number 3, with the increased cost of everything, crude oil, material prices going up, shipping prices going up, you can lock in your price now before the market absorbs all those price increases. So call 206 Roofing today. I guarantee no surprises, just a clear estimate that you can trust. Once you choose Valentine Roofing, here's what you can expect. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra mile service. They came out to my house and did all these things. It was fantastic. That's why the Valentine experience that I had is the reason that they got the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Call them today at 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
All right, welcome back to the show. I saw this video going around, viral video, and when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that's insane. And I kind of skipped over it because there's a lot of crazy videos out in the world, and we have to, we have to be very serious about what we bring to you.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd like it to apply to your life in some way.
Yeah.
And then I saw that this was in Washington, in Spokane. I went, bingo.
Cheney.
Yeah.
Cheney, Washington.
Cheney, Washington.
And it's another thing because the potential, honestly, victim here was a young kid riding around on a dirt bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I see those all the time.
Well,
all the time.
That's the question. Was it a dirt bike or was it, quote, an electric bike?
An e-bike. Oh, that's a good question.
It's an e-bike, I believe. I don't believe it makes dirt bike noises.
The story from KIRO News that I'm reading here refers to it as a dirt bike.
Okay.
But what I see everywhere are those e-bikes everywhere.
I see these. When I first saw the video, so there's a lady driving down the street. This happened on April 28th. There's a lady driving down the street. She's in like a little Ford Focus, like those hatchbacks.
Silver Ford Focus.
Silver Ford Focus.
And she's blurred out in the video.
Yeah.
Not the poor kid.
But the kid's not. Yeah.
Look at this.
So so here it is. So she's driving down the street. She stops. She sees this kid riding along on the sidewalk on this e-bike, and she turns around and she goes for him. And thankfully, he's speeding around her. I mean, they refer to it as a motorbike. It looks like a motorbike, but I do think it's an e-bike.
I think you're probably right.
He then speeds away, and she chases him on the sidewalk.
This lady is now left the roadway, going up a sidewalk between the grass, the grass plot, the street, sidewalk, right there.
And thankfully, this kid is able to get out of there.
He's got game. He's got skills. He evaded.
Does. Yeah. I mean, it looks like
he gets back to the street to flee, and she chases him down the street.
She chases him.
But that's not where the story ends.
So Spokane County deputies get a call about, 25 minutes? Yeah, 25 minutes later. They get a call about a possible burglary at a nearby home. And so they show up at this location. Lo and behold, it's the same.
Car's parked in a driveway.
Silver Ford Focus.
Silver Ford Focus in a driveway.
And the homeowner, who's not at the house, says that he was watching a person on his security cam footage.
Thank goodness.
Trying the door handles, this and that. Yeah, everybody's got cameras now. Thank God.
Goodness. Yeah,
it's really easy to get people. And so they're able to locate the woman and find her. And listen to this. This is crazy. After being advised, this is I'm going to quote to you from the Como piece. After being advised of her rights, the suspect told deputies that she had taken her dog for a ride and was looking for other dogs to socialize with.
Yeah,
naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Haven't we all done that before we tried to run a kid down? She said that she stopped after noticing dogs in a fenced yard and denied knowing the homeowner or attempting to enter the home. She also told deputies she did not remember the earlier incident
involving said bike and kid.
Exactly. Yeah. She initially denied consuming alcohol or drugs, and later was booked on first-degree attempted assault, DUI, and first-degree criminal trespass.
And driving under the influence.
Driving under the influence.
Yeah, there's the key factor here. Can I tell you one other feature of the story that caught my eye? And
Please.
Did you notice the time of day? The time of day.
Early.
6 a.m.
That is early.
Chasing a kid on a bike at 6 a.m.
You're right.
Here's the thing. I mentioned that I see these kids on these electric bikes all the time, all over the place.
They're everywhere.
But 6 a.m. is a little early.
What is that?
For a kid to be out running on the street.
Tuesday. That's a Tuesday.
Tuesday
I was
at
like,
6
is that a
a.m.
Saturday morning? Kids do get up early. You know what, though? When I was a kid, they called them mini bikes when I was a kid, but it was a dirt bike.
Yeah. Did you have the kind with the pull start, like a lawnmower?
No.
See, I had one of those.
I had a kickstart.
Yeah.
But I desperately, I saved up for it. I mowed yards, all these things. Didn't even get close to affording it. And then my parents finally came to me when I was 12. They said, hey, what if we help you get this dirt bike? Keep working for it, but what if we help you enjoy the dirt bike before you're too big? Because at the rate I was saving, I still wouldn't have it.
You'd have it today.
Yeah. And
After this show, we're going to go pick it up.
I'm going to go get it. And so my parents got me a dirt bike. I would get up at like 5:30 in the morning. It was like the dirt bike kid. I'd get up early to ride these things.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's not. I don't have a problem with the kid. I get it. Before school, it's a school day.
Yeah.
Got his new dirt bike. Gonna get a couple laps in around the neighborhood before I gotta go to school.
Sure.
It's the drunk driver at 6 a.m.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what troubles me.
That is a bigger problem.
You know, I'm taking me and Mr. Sprinkles gonna take him out. We want to go meet some dogs.
Do you believe that? She was I mean, I can believe a crazy drunk person. I think my dog wants to make friends.
Well, if you're drunk at 6 in the morning, of course your dog tells you he wants to meet people.
I think you're right. I think that's what happened. I think she was probably, ironically, I think she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make it legal, but I think that's probably what she was actually doing.
I've often felt that alcohol doesn't change people. It's just a magnifying glass.
Yeah, it reveals.
Right. She's always been the kind of person that wants her dog to be happy and drinks at 6 in the morning. Which is a dangerous combination.
Which is dangerous. Watch out for that. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Jason Rantz coming up next.
coming in next, buddy.
Stick around.
Oh, yeah.
Right back.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
We've told you Facebook and Instagram are turning to AI to screen out underage users, and now they're asking federal lawmakers for help in keeping kids safe online.
Luke Ducey tells us in Tech Talk the push is already raising concerns.
What's the status of Project Freedom? We'll have the latest.
And will we hit another record overnight?
Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy has the latest from the pump.
Join us 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
If you own rental property in Washington, you probably already know it's not what it used to be. Rising property taxes, increased maintenance costs, and some of the most onerous landlord-tenant regulations in the country. At some point, many landlords ask the question, is this still worth it? Brian Evans, CEO of Madrona Financial and CPAs, is hosting a live interactive workshop called Landlord Exit Strategies. In this seminar, he'll break down the impact of today's regulations, strategies that may allow you to defer and potentially reduce taxes, and how the Delaware Statutory Trust may help. It's a straightforward conversation about your options before you make a costly decision. To register or learn more, visit madronafinancial.com or call 833-673-7373. Be sure to catch Growing Your Wealth Saturdays at 9 a.m.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign. And so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump is making new threats against Iran while holding out hope a planned Pakistani-led negotiation session might bring an end to the conflict with Iran. He said just last hour, quote, "It's very possible that we'll make a deal." CBS's Nancy Cordes.
Project Freedom had only been underway for a couple of days, and only 2 commercial vessels had actually made it safely through the strait with the help of the U.S. military when the president announced that he was pausing it.
Some cruise ship passengers with suspected hantavirus infections are flown to the Netherlands for treatment. 3 people have died. CBS's Tom Hansen.
The WHO came out, said that they were urging people who were on a specific flight that was along the ship route, St. Helena to Johannesburg, to monitor themselves for any sort of illness or any sort of conditions that could be attached to the hantavirus.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has testified before the House Oversight Committee over the Jeffrey Epstein probe. Democrats, including Congresswoman Yasmin Ansari of Arizona, accused Lutnick of being evasive and misleading the public.
After what we have seen so far in this transcribed interview, I feel very comfortable saying that Howard Lutnick is a pathological liar who is enabling the most egregious cover-up in American history.
Republican Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says Democrats are twisting Lutnick's words. 5 of 7 Republicans endorsed by President Trump to defeat incumbent Republicans in Indiana who were able to sink a congressional redistricting plan have won their primaries for the state Senate. It was retribution from the White House, but Governor Mike Braun, a Republican, is throwing cold water on the idea of attempting another shot at redistricting.
In the instance of places that are doing it, it's based on another reason than whether you're going to mid-decade redistrict or not, due to the court ruling that recently came down, and that doesn't apply to us.
That's a reference to the Supreme Court's ruling in a Mississippi redistricting effort that will likely cost a Democrat his U.S. House seat. There will be no Triple Crown winner this year. Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo will skip the Preakness but will run in the June 6th Belmont Stakes. In Florida, there's an investigation into the deaths of dozens of sloths at an animal business. CBS's Allison Keyes.
Documents show that many of 55 sloths died from gastrointestinal issues, and local officials say they were kept in a warehouse with no electricity, climate control, or running water. The Central Florida Zoo accepted 13 sloths for treatment, but some later died.
Stocks close up on Wall Street. The Dow jumped 612 points. The Nasdaq has closed up 513. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A local sheriff says no thanks on a pay raise. More on that coming up, but first a check on your KIRO News Radio traffic, brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. So far, so good across the region. Here in Seattle, we've got our typical slowdowns, and that means North 5, you're slow from the Michigan curve just past I-90. You'll catch a little break, and then a brief backup there approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. We're up to 20 minutes now to commute through downtown Seattle. South 5 gets crowded approaching the Ship Canal Bridge, but you'll clear out by the time you get past the Convention Center. Otherwise, there aren't any significant backups out there. Considering a new Lennox cooling system before the summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. In federal way, a push to tighten rules on massage parlors is on hold. The city council was set to vote last night. Councilmember Melissa Hamilton.
I would like to discuss more in detail how our ordinance can benefit legitimate massage therapists, because I think we want to make sure we're doing that. And also just, it is about human trafficking. That's what we're trying very desperately to address.
The proposed ordinance would bring together licensing requirements and new oversight aimed at stopping illegal activity inside businesses. Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders is asking for the County Commission on Salaries to freeze his pay for a second year in a row. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has details.
Sheriff Sanders says last year the county was facing a budget deficit and there are still money challenges. He posted the letter he sent to the commission on Facebook. It says, quote, "As the cost of living continues to sharply rise, my employees, neighbors, and fellow community members are struggling to pay their energy bills. Receiving a pay increase as the executive of the sheriff's office would be highly inappropriate at this time. His current salary is about $183,000.
4.5 million gallons of wine went up in flames near Mattawa yesterday. Fire broke out at the Central Washington Wine Production Group. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says someone saw smoke around 2:30 in the afternoon and called it in. Employees evacuated safely and no one was hurt. The Tri-City Herald reports firefighters had to deal with pressurized stainless steel equipment inside, but they got it under control by 5 o'clock. The company makes bulk wine from grapes grown across the Columbia Valley. A fire marshal is looking into what started it. Washington State has now lost 18 whales this year, and the latest one researchers didn't expect. A male fin whale died yesterday morning after becoming stranded on a beach near Bellingham. NOAA says rescuers were headed to Samish Island, but the whale didn't make it. According to the Seattle Times, it was emaciated and in bad shape. The Cascadia Research Collective says at least 9 of the 17 gray whales that died this year were also malnourished. And now look at your KIRO News Radio weather. Cloudy and 63 this afternoon. We'll rinse and repeat through Friday. And then we'll bring out the sun and low 70s for Mom this weekend. Cloudy and 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of great stuff to get to. We're going to start this hour off with a bang. We got Jason Rantz from Seattle Red 770, the Jason Rantz Show, joining us right now. Jason, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
We're so glad to have you. We got 2 stories that people can go check out right now. One of them on Seattle Red, which you posted about, which I think we should start with. We have a Seattle City Council member said some stuff that she was then going to come on and talk with you about, and then that didn't materialize. And so we said, hey, it's still a very interesting story, raises a lot of questions. Let's get Jason on the show and see if we can work this out. So what happened?
So we're talking about Joy Hollingsworth. She's the Seattle City Council president. She represents Capitol Hill Central District. And she was participating in a annual meeting, community gathering called the State of Africa Town. This actually happened back in February. And she announced that she was talking about the investments that she'd like to make in Black communities in her district, that she actually goes to the council with literally 2 budgets in mind. One is just the budget, and then one is a Black budget. And usually you don't hear them saying this out loud, but she did say it out loud, and we have the audio of that.
She actually used the words Black budget.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do we have the audio in front of? Do we have it here, Laura? Oh, here we go. Do you want to play it? Sorry.
I don't have it pulled up right now.
Oh, I have it somewhere. That's my fault.
It's the thing that's labeled "play this audio clip." It's the one that's in big red letters.
Don't press the red one. That launches the missiles. Press the one next to the red.
Well, no, push that button too. Come on. Well, you don't even know what's the target.
I can't see it. Where is this thing? Why can't I see this?
Okay, don't worry, I got it.
All right, Laura's got it. Thank you.
Coming to the rescue again for the incompetent host who doesn't know what he's doing.
All right.
Sharing memes during the commercial break when he could have just been pulling up the audio.
I have my District 3 budget, and then I have my black budget. So I got 2 budget every time I go to Councilmember Dan Strauss. Every year I have a District 3 budget and then a black budget.
So that's a problem for one of 2 reasons. It depends on if you take her literally or if you take her more metaphorically.
Okay.
Number one, if it's literal, well, that's almost certainly illegal. You're not supposed to have budgets that are race-based. We have equal protection. You would be doing this at the expense of literally every other non-black resident. If it's not literal, then it's just political performative nonsense where she's getting in front of the community saying, hey, I'm giving you all this money for you, but you're not actually doing that. The way she talked about it made it sound very literal.
It did sound. It did sound literal. I don't know a whole lot about those districts.
And I think she intended it as literal. I think this is literally.
She's speaking at the State of Africa Town Conference.
I don't.
Of course, it's branding. Of course, it's
maybe, but I do the context. And this is we've got the video up at SeattleRed.com. It's like a 12-minute video. The context made it sound like she was talking literally. So I reached out to her office and I said, "Hey, I'd like to ask you some questions about this." And I gave like 5 or 6 questions that were specific. Nothing gotcha, because I'm generally not interested in doing gotcha interviews. I'm upfront about what I want to talk to people about. And so she asked me for my number almost immediately. We talk. She said, hey, I'll come on and do an interview if that's what you want. She had some concerns about whether or not I was setting this up to just attack her.
Let me ask you a quick question before we get into what happened after. What's your general take on Hollingsworth? She seems pretty...
I find her to be the least crazy on the council as it currently is. It's
that's nice.
Well,
yeah.
Given the council's
crazy, but
great makeup, it's
not
the low bar.
Well, that's sure, but I do think she can be
she's
rather reasonable.
Yeah.
She seems competent to me.
She's council president.
And
you don't get by accident.
I'm not going to get into our conversation because I said I wouldn't, but I felt like, hey, she actually is doing this in good faith. She knows I'm doing it in good faith.
There you go.
Awesome. So it was scheduled for yesterday, but less than 24 hours before, she just sends me an email saying, I can no longer do the interview. But I look forward to listening to your piece. Like, it was just a dismissive, I'm canceling without any real reason. And that is not a scheduling conflict. That is political cowardice. It doesn't take any kind of courage to sit down with someone who actually disagrees with you, but it does take a particular kind of cowardice to just cancel without any explanation whatsoever after you've made this commitment to have tough conversations with someone who was completely upfront about what I wanted to talk about.
And it's interesting, too, because I feel like there was some sense of urgency based on what you're saying. There was some sense of urgency that the story... that she get out ahead of it, because she immediately, you sent her your number, she said she called you immediately.
Yeah.
And you guys were on the phone. That tells me, I mean, it's tough to get politicians to talk about anything that they don't want to. I mean, see Katie Wilson. And for her to reach out immediately and say, like, hey, I want to be fully upfront with you on this, leads me to believe that she didn't want this being spun in any way that was negative, which totally makes sense. And the reason that I would encourage politicians to talk and be transparent, especially when they say things that are confusing. So it's a bummer that it didn't happen. And like, what going forward, what is this? What's your take on it now?
It doesn't really impact how I cover anything with Joy Hollingsworth, other than if she says she's going to do something, I probably won't put it as a firm on my calendar.
Sure.
I got some.
Don't make dinner plans with her. Yeah.
Or eat first if you do.
I'm not canceling anything because she could only do an interview at this time.
So did she agree to come on with you and then the phone call? And after the phone call, she said, I'm not coming on. Was it maybe that she didn't like how the phone call went?
No, she offered after. We booked it after the phone call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did somebody in the office maybe perhaps say,
but that's my guess. So my guess.
Somebody counsel her that this may not.
Did she share a staff with Katie Wilson?
No kidding. But that's my guess,
or
Spike,
a PR
is that
department.
Someone said, look,
that's kind of where I'm going with
what's to gain by talking about this? You're going to bring more of a spotlight to questionable comments, or at least what can be perceived as questionable comments. You're going to get yourself in trouble by talking to a conservative, or maybe the subtext is you're probably not going to do well by getting asked tough questions on this. And again, I put all my questions in writing because I didn't expect that she would even offer herself up for an interview.
Gotcha.
I put all of my questions out in writing. I was upfront from the beginning. And I wasn't intending to do any kind of gotcha interview.
That's fair. And I believe that. I know you. I know. I've listened to much of your work. I mean, I know how you conduct yourself in interviews.
I've listened to all of it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Not much.
I can only take so much a day. My doctor's orders. I've got a weak heart. So given back to the comment she made at the Africa Town conference, and she has two budgets she goes in with. She has a budget and she has a black budget. To me, if she's speaking to an African American community, which she's much of her constituency is an African American community, I know that the city itself in its budget has dedicated funds, allocated funds to service directly these various communities of color. They have dedicated resources and programs that are dedicated to these particular
yes and
communities.
No. So the no part is you cannot specifically have line items that say this is only being spent on someone
Certain
on the basis
race,
of their
yeah.
color. You can
would-
create programs that are intended to have a disproportionate impact, I suppose, in certain communities.
Or a reparative.
The way
impact
how you
and distribution.
the
yeah.
way how you write it out
Yeah.
is different.
So
that's not what she said.
She
That's
said
not what she
she
said.
said I got a black budget.
A literal black budget.
Yeah, but
and
did
now
you really think
I
that
have
she was-
two rules. I have two rules on something like this.
Okay.
If you take out black budget and you put in other words like white budget or heterosexual budget or Christian budget, whatever it is, would the left be upset with that? I think we would all acknowledge, yes, they would. They would call that out immediately. But then beyond that, here's a question. What about an Asian budget? Does she have an Asian budget? Does she have a Latino budget? Does she have a Native American budget? Does she also have budgets for other groups, or does she not think they're important enough? A key piece of context in this was she was talking about how the black community should be seen and has to coalesce its power so they can become a political party. That's how she was talking about it. Now, I think that was more metaphorical, but she's spending taxpayer dollars to coalesce a group of people for political purposes that are not but spending taxpayer dollars. If you want to spend your own money on that, have at it. Go for it.
Is part of her job as president of the city council and as a council member representing
to represent everyone.
Okay, let me finish the question before we tell me it's wrong and it's a stupid question. At least let me get the stupid question out.
Get it out.
She is the representative of the 3rd, which has a diverse base of constituency. And she was speaking to a very specific segment of that constituency at the Africa Town Conference. So when she says, I've got a black budget to service this black community, these black needs, I don't think that's at the expense of the Asian or Indian. She's speaking to this group of people, to letting them know that she may be spending government money, but it's her salary. And
I see what Spike's saying.
What she's
So that's
paid
a
to
stupid
do.
question, and you're wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you very much.
Could you point to her saying
she's saying
anything
also-
similar about any other group?
Does she have another conference where she says, I have an Indian budget, I have an Asian budget?
Do we really need her to? Do we need?
I'd like her to answer a basic question on that. I think that's a fair point. Again, the context of how she...
I was building on yours.
I know, but that feels like a gotcha question to me.
How is that a gotcha question if I'm telling you what the question is?
I was about to tell you. If you
That was a gotcha question.
If you were, I love you, man. I used to work for an organization, I did public relations for an organization that had to work within the constrictions of the city's equity toolkit. You know very well what the city's equity toolkit.
Scam.
Oh my God! I can't believe you actually have the courage to say that in there. So
you should have the courage. You agree with me. You do. You can say it. No one's going to give you a hard time for it.
That city policy should treat all of its citizens equally.
That's not what the equity toolkit does. That's not what it does.
I trust me. I know more than you do.
Not on this one.
Okay.
You know what? We have the time. Go ahead.
Sure.
We do have
the city's
time.
equity toolkit is specifically designed to make sure that new policies or policies that are implemented in the city do not adversely affect BIPOC communities of color. Am I framing that correctly?
That's how they frame it. I don't think that's
yes, I'm framing it correctly.
That's how they frame it. Yes,
that's what
I'm
it is.
saying
That's
that
what it is
the
by
end result,
definition.
my criticism of it is different, but that is how they frame it.
That's
yes?
not what we're talking about.
I would like to
your interpretation
as
of
a
the end
follow-up.
result.
I feel like I am moderating as a follow-up. I'd like to hear your interpretation.
Thank you, Whoopi. No, I mean, my interpretation is their end result has always been to, and this started, not the concept of an equity toolkit, but the way that it has been implemented, and the end result started during the BLM movement of 2020, 2021, where the intent was essentially to say, we want to try to find legal pathways to specifically give funding and get to quote unquote equity within certain politically helpful groups. Usually it was Black and Latino. They kind of ignored everybody else. They did. I mean, even the whole idea.
Nothing in there is about political at all.
No.
It's about if you want to frame
serving them
of color,
for political purposes is what I'm saying.
They're their constituency, and they pay the taxes that the city relies
They're
on.
doing it at the expense of other groups. You're getting extra points as a direct result for being from certain communities. Now, their argument is that you have been disproportionately negatively impacted because of X, Y, and Z, right? It depends on the issue, and it depends on the time period. Fair enough, but they overcorrected by trying to punish groups at the or to the benefit of others. That's the part that I believe is illegal. When you say we're purposefully not going to help or we're actively going to harm a certain community so that we can help a different one, you're doing precisely what you're complaining about was done historically, rather than treat everyone equally.
So does Black History Month negatively affect white people?
No.
Okay, then how does making sure
But you would argue that White History Month negatively impacts everybody else. I'm using your own logic.
No, but I would argue that there isn't a White History Month for a reason.
What's the reason?
Because there are 11 other months that are look in the real world. It's always White History Month.
But that's my point is that the argument has become that, and I'm not arguing for White History Month the same way I'm not arguing for any history month. It's just every day should be
what I like,
treating
guys?
fairly everyone. I do like 4th of July.
I love 4th of July.
As citizens for a well-represented 5th of July, I am offended by that.
You get the 5th of July off now. We always get the 5th now.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to the issue at hand. When a portion of the budget is already dedicated to make sure that you help these communities, particularly because a large portion of her constituency are these communities, then say I've got a Black budget as long as
I'm just simply saying you can't have a literal Black budget.
I don't think there's anything in her
then
office.
Why
in any
can't she
folder.
just simply say I do not have one?
She should.
Spike, would it be helpful for you if she also said I have a Asian budget or a Pacific Island budget?
But then she'd have to say she has a white budget, which would be the problem.
Well, to be fair, no. To be fair, she should say, if she's going to say, or she could just say she has a budget within the city council. She could just be talking in those
dedicated
terms.
to service this
helping
particular community that I
have a budget that's intended to help everyone. Every community maybe needs a little bit different kind of help and different kinds of services.
There we go.
That is a less divisive way to have this conversation, and then it takes away all of the controversy.
I've often said you speak better than most of the people we elect to office.
I agree.
That's why she canceled on the show.
We have the same problem with the mayor, by the way. That we say
she doesn't
things.
Speak that I've heard.
We throw things off the top of our heads that say like, how come nobody in your office has this much savvy to know how to speak to issues that are inclusive and not offensive, and don't just put your foot in a pile every time you open your mouth.
When you pursue inclusivity in ways that are exclusive to groups, you are screwing something up. You're doing it incorrectly. Inclusivity literally means bringing everyone into the conversation, and you are doing the opposite when you say,
would you agree
I have
that
a Black budget.
certain groups need more assistance to get up to everybody else's level? Is
I
that
think
a fair
certain
statement?
socioeconomic positions
You don't
more
think
so. I
race
don't
has
think it's
nothing to
based
do with
as
that?
race. Not in Seattle.
You think the socioeconomic status is often dictated historically
But
through
here's
race?
the problem that I think she would legitimately run into, and one of my questions.
So the answer is yes, because you did.
Well, no, it's not. But I would push back at this general claim. Remind me who has been in charge in Seattle since 1969, I think, is the last time we had a Republican mayor, for example. You've implemented all of these left-wing policies year after year after year, and it certainly seems like they're getting more and more and more extreme to the left.
Most people would say Seattle is kind of a utopia for far left.
And of course, but they're still not
policies.
happy, right? I mean, they still say we still got to do more. Well, at what point do you look at the lack of results and say we're the problem? That the policies themselves are the problem?
So you're saying that
when you're constantly pushing like further and further and further to the left, it's not because you've gone not far enough; it's you've gone too far.
You think that the persistence of racism in our society systemically?
I don't think we have a systemic racism problem in our society, and I certainly don't think we have that in Seattle.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Are
to
you
hold.
systemically racist?
Yes.
How so?
What?
How so?
Yes. How are you racist?
How am I systemic?
How are you, Spike? The nice Spike, guy I like.
Spike,
how are you a racist?
Spike, don't talk down about yourself. I don't agree with you. I disagree with you about yourself, Spike. You're not a racist person.
Okay, to frame it as me as an individual.
You as an individual.
I'm not. Is there systemic racism
but
in this society?
Initially you said yes. Why did you say that?
Because I understand that there is systemic racism, and as a white guy,
contributing to it?
As a white guy who's benefited from it.
How have you benefited?
How have I benefited?
Yes, how are you benefiting right now? Because now I am setting you up for something.
Okay, because
Jake knows exactly what I'm going to set
I
you up
know.
with because
I
it is a
told you
common
not
thing.
to go down that
you
road,
did it.
Spike.
You did it to yourself.
You know what?
If you guys could let somebody answer a question and didn't just believe your
let's
own
do this.
bull
Let's
crap.
do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
No,
Let's
no,
take
no.
a half beat, a quick half beat. We do have a commercial break. We got to pay the bills. And when we come back, Spike can answer this question quickly, and then we can move on. That would be
Can
fun.
we talk about giving safe kits to people at libraries? Some we can all agree on.
Let's give away
I know we
needles.
haven't even
Let's
got
give
to
away
there.
drug needles.
Like sewing needles, I'll give away to like a button
Jason,
pops
do you have
off.
time
Sure.
to hang out for like 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Yes, he can make it happen. All
He's
right.
got me on the ropes. Just
Stick
because the bell
around.
rang doesn't mean I'm getting a.
We're going to be
Saved by the Bell.
right back.
We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you can just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts with you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free
Free Duralast brake pads?
when you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
If you're a homeowner looking to replace your comfort system, there's only one call you need to make. That's to Home Comfort Alliance, especially right now. As a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, they meet the highest standards for training, installation, and customer satisfaction. John Curley here. Efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance matter. Right now, when you upgrade to a Carrier cooling system, you get a heating system free. And they make it so easy with a 60-second price estimator. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to 4 nights of smooth jazz fusion with Spyro Gyra. Shows run May 7th through May 10th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Vincent and Gala, May 12th and 13th.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. President Trump now says it is very possible the 2-month war against Iran could end soon, telling reporters today.
Now we're doing well, now we have to get what we have to get. If we don't do that, we'll have to go a big step further.
Again, the president saying any deal must include Iran giving up its nuclear ambitions. CBS's Natalie Brand says the president paused a new initiative to get ships through the Strait of Hormuz.
The administration said 2 U.S. flag commercial ships made it through the waterway during the short-lived operation, but said hundreds more were lined up.
Iran has not publicly responded to that pause in the U.S. mission known as Project Freedom. Now to the closing bell reports. Home prices falling in the Puget Sound's priciest counties, down more than 5% in King County and slipping in Snohomish. The drop comes as the latest data shows inventory across the region surged nearly 30% year over year. Seattle broker Anton Alexander is with Compass Real Estate. He tells me a wave of tech layoffs is a major factor.
We do work with quite a few tech workers, and I would say not everybody feels secure. Right, when every other week there's a new announcement, people feel like they need to be a little bit more conservative financially.
Higher mortgage rates and inflation worries are also keeping buyers on the sideline, he says. Baristas at the Pike Place Market Starbucks will not be voting on a union after all. Starbucks Workers United yanked its petition yesterday just before today's scheduled votes. Seattle Times reports the union says Starbucks interfered with organizing efforts. Starbucks pushed back, saying pulling the petition is a strategic move by the union, keeping workers from saying publicly whether they actually wanted to join. On Wall Street today, solid gains. The Dow up 612, NASDAQ gained 512, S&P 500 up 106. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Wilcox Family Farms Eggs has our update. All of our major routes are wide open right now. Really, the only significant backups are right through downtown Seattle. Let's start you North 5. We're now bumper to bumper before the West Seattle Bridge, just past I-90. That's where a lot of drivers are breaking off and hopping into the express lanes. And then a brief backup approaching 520 across the Ship Canal Bridge. 20 minutes a commute through downtown Seattle. South 5, brief slowing between 520 and the Convention Center. Center. We have a little backup forming South 405 as you head through Factoria, and northbound 405 in the south end. We're now seeing scattered slowing between South Center and the Renton Landing. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now, seeing mostly cloudy skies this afternoon and highs today in the mid to upper 60s. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let me tell you guys what the text line loves.
Cheese.
The text line loves arguments on the radio, and this is a good one.
Well,
I don't even know.
Where's there an argument happening?
Okay, here it is. Spirited back and forth.
Passionately discussing.
Spirited back and forth conversation. Jason Rance from 770 Seattle Reds. Jason Rance Show joins us now. How do I even recap how we got to where we're at right now? I'm not sure.
Spike said he's a racist and that he benefited from it.
No, he was going to explain how he... where do we leave off? You posed a question. He started answering. I told him not to do it.
I brought up systemic racism.
And then I said, Spike,
Jason
let's move along.
This
You don't want to...
classic Jason Rance gotcha question. Are you a systemic racist?
It's not a gotcha question.
Sure
you said you were a racist.
Did you see how this... See? Right there. See how
You
this
said it. Okay, to be fair, you did say that you were...
I was systemically racist.
And then I defended you. I said, Spike, you're not systemically racist. Don't say that about yourself. Never talk down about yourself. And then Jason asked you how you arrived at that. And then I said we had to take a quick commercial break.
The bell rang, ending the round.
Yeah.
I went to my corner. Mick cut me under this eye. You know, that grease that keep the gloves from not making direct landing hits.
Sure.
So let me, if I may,
so
address
please
why
explain why you feel this.
He juiced up, by the way, during this.
Oh,
break.
totally juiced. I couldn't even put my shoes back on.
Let's
My
see if
feet
it
are
works.
huge right now.
All right, go ahead.
So here's the deal. Do I have racist tendencies, systemically racist tendencies? I would say yes. Not that I act on these or that I pursue a racist way of life or agenda. But there's been a history in my life. I was born in a city that was very, very racially divided. Baltimore in the late 60s.
You're from Balmer.
I'm from Balmer in the late 60s. Okay, I remember race riots in my city. I remember police patrolling the neighborhoods I grew up in.
Look at Jason. Don't look at me. I don't want to be any part of this
I can't look
conversation.
at him. He scares me. So I went to a school. I was bused because of desegregation policies in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I was bused from my all-white neighborhood to an all-black school where it was 95% black. And that's not to say that I thought less of these people. It was actually a wonderful, positive experience that I got to meet folks that I only had been told about or had preconceived notions about.
Okay.
That being said, those bedrock beliefs in my earliest memories and earliest development of how I viewed the world came from a very racist perspective. So when I say I am systemically racist, I believe that I am because of where I grew up, when I grew up, and what I grew up experiencing.
It's a long time ago, though.
What would you say, though, is if someone is actually racist, how are they different than from you in your viewpoint? Because I don't view you as just because you experience racism.
I don't think he's racist at all. Yeah, don't say that about yourself.
Again, you guys are framing it in a way.
Well, no, I hear racist. I go, don't do that. But go ahead.
I experience systemic racism because I have these preconceived.
Or participated in, I think, is what you mean, right?
No.
You haven't specifically experienced the racism.
No, I haven't experienced it as a victim.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I've been raised in a culture where this was a real thing, so much to the point that laws had to be passed from a federal and local level, and policies put in place to help correct this. So when I say I've benefited from racial discrimination, I've benefited from systemic racism. I truly believe I have, because I grew up a white guy in America in the 60s and 70s, and that was
you hold that view now.
I hope that I'm lucky that
that you're benefiting.
That I have benefited and I still benefit. Yes.
How?
I think that certain elements of our society are viewed differently by law enforcement communities or federal.
But you specifically, that's what I mean.
I am not viewed in that light. I benefit from those.
But you're saying that otherwise your behaviors, your actions, whatever it is we're talking about, you would be punished for them in some way, but you benefit because of your whiteness. That you otherwise would be, and I'm making this up, you would get ticketed for riding on light rail without having paid.
He did get a warning. To be fair, you did get a warning when you got on the light rail and you did not pay.
Because I was told that all of that is just racist and they just go around targeting black people or Latino people.
See, this is how you.
Well, I told you not to get into the conversation in the first place because I saw where this was going.
Because we're moving the goalposts. We're putting up strong men. We're reframing the argument.
I'm not moving anything. From the very start, I said, don't play this game.
When I don't have to have a conversation with my kids about how to interact with the police, I've never had to worry about that. My kids have never had to worry about that. That's a benefit to me from a systemically racist environment that a lot of families, not mine, of different colors, honestly have to deal with.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I even tell my kids to respect police officers.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
Those are conversations that my parents. I mean, like young men drivers are the worst.
They are, but we don't have to have the keep your hands at 10 and 2 conversation that black families have to have with their kids.
I had a detective who had that conversation with me as a white guy. This is what you should be doing if you're ever to get pulled over by police.
Your analytical. What's the word I'm looking for? Analogy.
Anecdotal.
Thank you very much. I'm a little flustered. Your anecdotal experience doesn't dismiss the fact that this does happen.
Your anecdotal experience doesn't prove that it does, and it is, that to the systemic level that you're claiming. I certainly don't take a position that, we haven't had racism, we haven't had institutionalized racism. We obviously have. There's no doubt about that. It's a shameful part of our history.
Does it still exist?
I don't think it exists to the degree that you're talking about. I think that are there instances, but that's what I mean. When we say systemic or institutionalized racism, that shows a level of racism that I completely reject. I completely reject that. That's different from saying racism can and does and still rears its ugly head.
And that's all
Those
I'm
are two. Well, but then it's not systemic. If it's systemic, that means it's inside of all of our or institutionalized.
No,
it's part of our system. That's what the literal term is. And that's my pushback.
It doesn't mean all inclusive in all of our systems, in all of our.
Well, then what is systemic racism mean?
That it still exists. It still exists in various portions of our society.
But that's different than systemic. That's my point. And maybe we're doing.
We're semantically talking about a level of degree.
Systemic means
because it isn't as prevalent as it was at one time. Doesn't mean it's eliminated.
No one's saying eliminated.
And that's really all I'm saying.
But systemic means it's in every part of our systems, and it's not. It's not.
Okay. I never said it was in all elements.
But I'm saying that's what systemic racism means.
Well, that's a very narrow description of systemic.
Now we're just talking terms here.
We are. Let's get on to libraries before we run out of time, because I think this one is the greatest story ever.
For libraries.
Sure we do. Yeah, we do.
Seattle Public Libraries is giving out needles.
Okay, and that's the
thank you. Thank you. No, they're not.
They're not giving out needles?
No, they're not.
What are they giving out?
They're giving out, was it harm reduction kits?
Harm reduction kits?
Needles,
but
Seattle Public Libraries give out Narcan and test strips. They do not give out needles.
Are we talking about the library, or are we talking about the People's Harm Reduction group that's using the library for
facilitating? We're talking about what the library gives out.
Yeah, I don't know what the library specifically does.
I thought that's what we were talking about. So if I
Jonathan Cho from Discovery Institute did a video where he was at the library that's being used to host these events from, I can't remember the name of the group, the People's Harm Reduction Alliance or Force, whatever it is. Yeah. They are passing out in this video these different kits, these harm reduction kits that do in fact include Narcan strips, but also do include
needles.
Of research I've done on this topic, since
here's a video. He posted the video. I mean, it's in there.
He's in this. He's one of the Seattle Public Libraries.
To be clear,
yeah.
I mean, I've gone to King County Public Health, and they've provided me all of this stuff.
Well, there are different levels of harm reduction kits that are distributed to the city.
Harm reduction kits generally come with one of the following. It could be clean needles. It's a pipe, a glass pipe, tin foil.
I remember when you did the story and you brought it in to show us that day, and I understand.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not controversial in the context of explaining what they're passing out, because they do.
Sure, but
the library itself
doesn't. The controversial part is that it was happening at a library where it was accessible to kids. I mean, obviously, anytime you say like needles in public library, people are that's going to grab a lot of attention.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this information is being misrepresented in this video that was shown, because what I'm reading is that Seattle Public Libraries hand out harm reduction kits.
No, I understand that.
That include Narcan and they include test strips. They do not include needles.
Officially, the library.
The library's not doing it.
The group that's hosting the library inside the library space is giving out the free needles.
Sense?
That's the video.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
if that's the case.
And here's the funny thing.
I sent you the video.
I don't think this is controversial that they're hosting these groups. It's a public library. They can. I think it's bad optics, but I don't necessarily think it's controversial in the traditional sense. To me, the controversy is handing out the actual drug paraphernalia.
It's the needles that grab my attention, because when I was a kid,
and the tourniquets and all that stuff.
When I was a kid, I remember going. I used to love the library. We still love the library in my family. When I was a kid, when you go to the library, you get like Berenstain Bear books, sometimes Boxcar Children, which I've talked about. I have a great affection for those things.
Now it's Berenstain Bears doing 8-ball.
We never got needle kits.
They don't.
Well, in the video that I sent you, you should watch it. It's quite striking to watch somebody hand over needles. I mean, it does grab the headlines. Jason Rantz, we do appreciate you coming in. Great conversation, all. I really enjoyed it. I hope the audience did as well.
I appreciate your point of view in life, and I appreciate your open-mindedness to hear other points of view, even if we never come to an agreement.
I appreciate my points of view as well. I really appreciate that.
And it's your consistency. That's what makes me love you.
There you go. All's well that ends well. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Spike, you want to tease ahead to our next segment? If you go, I can also, if that helps.
Oh, I asked for this job.
Yep.
Yeah. They're making flying even more fun than it was yesterday.
Perfect.
Right? If you're having a good time on an airplane.
They're not giving out needles, are they? They're not giving you anything. We'll tell you about it next.
Yeah.
Stick around.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
We've told you Facebook and Instagram are turning to AI to screen out underage users, and now they're asking federal lawmakers for help in keeping kids safe online.
Luke Ducey tells us in Tech Talk the push is already raising concerns.
What's the status of Project Freedom? We'll have the latest.
And will we hit another record overnight?
Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy has the latest from the pump.
Join us 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Ageless Living. Recently my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day, as is often the case. But we as a family weren't sure if we were ready to provide the care or even equipped to provide the care that she needed. So we called Ageless Living and asked about their respite care. That's short-term, 24/7 expert care, whether it's a couple days, couple weeks, all the Ageless Living amenities and the community. And that provided us with all the answers we needed and the peace of mind as a family to know we were doing the right thing. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit today. It can be that much needed break or the expert care your family needs. It's agelessliving.com/spike.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy. Jazz Alley invites you to 4 nights of smooth jazz fusion with Spyro Gyra. Shows run May 7th through May 10th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Vincent and Gala, May 12th and 13th.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Welcome back to the show. It's been a while since I got on an airplane. I'll be completely honest. I haven't flown in over more than a year now.
Wow.
And air travel is changing every single day. It seems like it gets, from what I've heard, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter on those planes.
Oh, yeah. And every literal and figurative possible meaning.
Every little thing that they can do.
Yep.
There's a lot of contributions to what makes air travel expensive. One of them is happening right now with all of the stuff happening in Iran, the Iran war, the Strait of Hormuz, or is it Hermes? Just kidding.
The fact that jet fuel has doubled in price.
Jet fuel
because of this war in the Middle East.
I forget if it was Delta or which airline it was. It was one of the major airlines, but they said basically the extra fuel costs are going to completely wipe out their projected profits for the year. So they will operate.
It was Delta from the quarter.
It might have been Delta. They're going to be operating basically at a wash.
From this quarter are going to wipe out the profits, projected profits for the year.
Yeah. So that makes it tough.
Yeah, and there are people that say that Spirit Airlines, the final straw, was the cost of jet fuel. That said, they just couldn't make it.
There's a lot of stuff with Spirit Airlines.
A lot of stuff. But the final straw.
They had attempted. Spirit Airlines was a little bit. We didn't really get into this, but Spirit Airlines was a little bit like that. Was it the Kroger merger?
Albertsons merger.
Albertsons merger, where they were saying, like, listen, we're competing against some very big guys. The headwinds are not going in our direction. Actually, no, they're going as headwinds do, which is they're doing what headwinds do.
Headwinds do what they do.
Yeah, which is also good for jets.
Sure.
But the headwinds are not good for us, and we need a merger with JetBlue in order to stay competitive. It was shut down, and I think since they were denied that merger, they twice had sought bankruptcy protection from outstanding debt. Mm-hmm. So they were already doing very poorly. But this definitely, I agree with you.
They were running on fumes, one might say.
Exactly.
There you go.
So the airline industry is a really tough industry. It's cutthroat. And now Delta is doing something to try to make the numbers work for their bottom line. And tell me a little bit about this. What do you think? Good idea, bad idea?
Well, it's been a long time since you could enjoy the amenities of air travel that were from our past, whether it was, you've seen images of them bringing the prime rib up, carving up roast beef in the aisle, serving it to folks, and not just in first class.
Yeah.
It used to be that meals were provided in cross-continent flights. Not anymore.
Not just a meal. Options of meals.
Options of meals. You want the chicken or the fish? Well, first off, I've seen an airplane never get the fish on a plane, but that's neither here nor there.
That's a good rule.
So it went from, here's a meal if your flight's long enough, to here we can sell you a meal if your flight's long enough. And now, and no matter what type of flight you were on, there was a beverage service.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get up in the air and we get stabilized, we'll run the cart down the aisle, we'll throw some nuts or crackers at you, with no more nuts because of allergies, and we'll give you the free soft drinks and sell you some booze.
What's your go-to on the airplane?
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale?
I'm a ginger ale guy.
Now, why do you get ginger ale?
Because it settles the stomach.
And did you know ginger ale tastes different at altitude?
I did not know that. I thought it was the bottle of gin I kept in my sock.
Nope.
I kid.
Your taste buds, that's a good idea, actually, although they'd get you at TSA. Your taste buds actually respond differently at that altitude and pressure. So you're actually tasting it in a different way than you would if you were on the ground.
I thought it was just a
I think
different
it's
mix.
subtle, but no, it's actually like a scientifically proven thing.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore because Delta is eliminating all beverage
Delta
service on
says no.
short-term flights. We're not even going to bother to throw beverages at you anymore.
We were saying this earlier. We were talking about this earlier before we went on the air. Earlier this morning, we were thinking about the show, and you had a really good explanation of why something like this hurts, even though it's a small thing. It is a small thing, but why does it hurt in particular?
I think all flights you go through an experience every time you travel, and that little beverage service was kind of an oasis in the flight. It was like a little reprieve that, it was a comfortable thing.
Yeah, everything's going as it should.
As it should, right? It's a little too turbulent for us. We're not going to bring the drink cart down. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, if the stewardess is sitting there, and they're
strapped in,
giving you food.
Yeah, it's okay.
Assume everything's fine.
Yeah, and it seems like the least they can do when I'm paying $400 a ticket, probably on average, even on short flights these days.
You deserve half a can of soda.
I can't have a pillow anymore. I can't have a blanket anymore. God forbid. God forbid you feed me.
Ugh.
God forbid you even offer to sell me food, and you don't take cash. I got to have a card, and it just gets closer and closer and creeps in tighter and tighter. Now the seats are
Just
smaller
like the
than it was
seats.
2 years ago, right? And there's now 18 seats in this section. This would be 12 before. They just keep coming in at you, and now they can't even afford to throw a beverage at us during the flight. And now it prolongs. There's no break up in the middle. It's like a halftime show. Beverage service on a flight is like a halftime show.
Break up the monotony.
Give
us a break.
A little something. It feels good to have a little something. I was a little dry. You want to stay hydrated at that elevation, but nothing. Now they can't even give us that. And is it because of cost? Is that what they're saying? Things are so tight now we can't even afford to throw 2 cases of soda on the plane.
Yeah,
and these the little cans they left. Remember big cans? Remember asking for a whole can of soda?
They used to do that.
We
were flying on a plane
once. Not just the old man, get off my lawn guy now.
No, I think it's all completely justified. When I was a kid, we flew as a family. I forget where we were going, but the flight attendant came by and saw that we had 4 little kids. I'm one of 4 kids, and she's like, just take a whole giant, the airplane size bag of the nuts,
right?
And we had the whole thing.
Sure.
That is
as many as you want.
That was like Christmas Day. They don't give you nothing now.
Nothing anymore. Well, I don't think they can do nuts anymore because of airborne allergies.
Oh, come on. Ridiculous.
That's why I fill my mouth with peanut butter.
Good for you.
When I go down the plane, I don't answer.
And you just slowly.
When I go through security,
eat it. All right, we got to go. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you can just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
With Mariners Value Games, you can score tickets starting under $12 on select dates all season, including the series against the White Sox, May 18th through 20th. And on the 18th and 19th, you can also take home a Josh Naylor bobblehead, thanks to Western Washington Toyota dealers. Get your tickets at mariners.com/value games.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Nobody should drink and drive. It's dangerous. We want to keep the streets safe. We want to keep our kids safe. The thing each of our clients gets to know from us is that they are not problem people. They're individuals who made a mistake. Every client we have will know that we see them as people, not criminals. Our clients will be heard. Our clients will be understood. They will be valued. They will be seen.
DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist. DUIHeroes.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has testified before the House Oversight Committee behind closed doors in its Jeffrey Epstein probe. Secretary Lutnick has faced criticism from House Democrats, including Ro Khanna, about his relationship with Epstein and his evolving statements about their history.
It was just contortions and lies and no acknowledgement that he misled the American public.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, a Republican, says Lutnick has been very transparent.
The first 20 minutes of the Democrats' question in here, they complained about not having video and not having things to be able to put on MSNBC for their angry purple-haired viewers to be outraged over.
Others who've appeared include the executors of Epstein's estate, as well as former President Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. The FBI has served a search warrant at the office of the Virginia Senate leader as part of a reported corruption investigation. The search at Senator L. Luis Lucas's district office in Portsmouth comes after the Democrat helped lead the state's redistricting effort. WTKR-TV reporter Brendan Ponton.
We know that Louise Lucas, the powerful state senator from Portsmouth, and her daughter, Lisa Lucas Burke, who used to be a city council member here in Portsmouth, both work out of this office.
Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo will not run in the Preakness Stakes next weekend, but will run in the Belmont Stakes on June 6th. For various reasons, it's the 6th time in 8 years the Preakness will happen with no chance of a Triple Crown on the line. A Dutch cruise ship at the center of a deadly hantavirus outbreak has left the West African island of Cape Verde bound for the Canary Islands. 3 people on board have died and at least 8 people are possibly infected. CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
Overnight, health officials in protective gear helped evacuate 3 people from the cruise suspected of having the virus. Nearly 150 other passengers remain quarantined on board.
This is one of those unusual circumstances where hantavirus is spreading from person to person.
Swiss authorities announced Wednesday that a man who previously traveled on the ship and returned home at the end of April just tested positive for the Andes strain of the disease.
Ted Turner, the founder of CNN and former owner of the Atlanta Braves, has died at the age of 87. CNN anchor Wolf Blitzer talked about him during his show and says when Turner hired him in 1990, he was very clear about what he wanted CNN to become.
He was so determined to make sure that the news was strong, was reliable, was fair, and he inspired me and so many other journalists to work and report the news fairly and accurately, and if possible, break those stories first.
This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Coming up, an armed car prowler caught in the act. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Home Comfort Alliance has the update. Let's start you up north. The afternoon shift change is underway at the Everett Boeing plant, and that has eastbound 526 filling in between the plant and I-5. Getting to Everett from Seattle and Bellevue is a breeze right now. No significant backups whatsoever, right around a half hour. South 5 looking great heading into Seattle. Again, no significant backups in your way here. North 5, it's a different story. We're bumper to bumper right before the West Seattle Bridge past I-90, and then again you'll jam up approaching 520 across the Ship Canal Bridge. 20 to 25 minutes to get through all this. South 405, scattered backups now between South Bellevue and the Renton Landing. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 20 minutes. And southbound 167 is filling in between State Route 18 and State Route 410. Considering a new Lennox cooling system before the summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle police say a quick-acting crime analyst and patrol officers helped catch an armed suspect after an attempted car prowl in Little Saigon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
SPD says the incident happened Tuesday afternoon. The 32-year-old suspect was allegedly in the middle of a car prowl when he was confronted by the owner. Police say he pulled a knife before fleeing on foot, but Detective Eric Munoz says he didn't get far before a real-time crime center analyst spotted him on camera near 10th and South Jackson.
She relayed this information to the responding officers. With that information, the officers were able to locate the suspect.
The man was arrested on suspicion of felony burglary. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Thurston County Sheriff is once again asking county commissioners to freeze his salary. Sheriff Derek Sanders sent a letter to the county commission saying he does not want a raise while many families are facing ongoing economic pressure. Sanders notes state law prevents elected officials from taking a voluntary pay cut, allowing him to only freeze his pay. The state will pay $4.5 million to the estate of a 69-year-old inmate who died of bladder cancer after what attorneys call years of delayed care. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Attorneys for Gordon Crockett say he experienced symptoms nearly 2 years before finally being diagnosed. By then, cancer spread to his spine, and he died at the Stafford Creek Corrections Center in 2023. It's the latest in a series of costly settlements tied to delayed cancer care in Washington prisons, according to the Seattle Times, including close to $20 million in settlements to 3 different families in just the last 2 years. Crockett's lawsuit claimed the Department of Corrections failed to provide timely treatment, while Crockett was less than a year from being released. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
King County's Metro Waterfront Shuttle is back this summer with a big change. Passengers will not need to pay a fare. City of Seattle is throwing in $500,000 to cover the costs, while the local FIFA organizing committee is also chipping in. Service runs daily through Labor Day and connecting Seattle Center, the waterfronts, Pioneer Square, to the stadiums and the Chinatown International Districts. Those buses run every 15 minutes with increased frequency on World Cup match days. Your weather update now, looking at mostly cloudy skies this afternoon and highs in the low to mid-60s. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Man, do we have a lot of great stuff this hour. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. Before we get into all of that we had planned on talking about, Spike, I got to take a little sidetrack for half a second. I'm listening to the top of the news hour break. I never miss it because Aaron Granillo, he's my favorite. I love him. And he says a magic word that catches my ear in regards to local boat rides.
I didn't say the magic word, but the press release certainly does.
Read King County. This back.
Here's the headline from the county. Zahalai, the King County executive, announces free rides on waterfront shuttle.
Free?
Now this starts May 21st ahead of the FIFA World Cup, and it's not free. It's $500,000 from the city of Seattle is chipping in, along with the local FIFA organizing committee also chipping in to cover these fares. This is an annual service that used to cost you.
That used to cost you money. Let me ask you a question. Was there like a generous benefactor who said, hey, you know what? I want to make things easier for everybody, and I'm going to donate almost like to a charity, but they gave it to the city. They said, take this $500,000 and use it so you can call it free?
I believe this is taxpayer money that will be paying for it. But it's to benefit people who are visiting the city for the World Cup and to get us around along the waterfront from the stadiums all the way to Seattle Center.
Let me ask you guys a question. Mm-hmm. Do you think they would have paid for it? We've been told all these fans are coming into town. They got fat pockets. They're dropping cash. You got money to fly into World Cup. You got more money than I do. You're coming into town.
Do you think you're
going to pay for
these water ferry shuttles would have been used if
it's not a water ferry, to be clear. It's a bus
it's the shuttles
takes people along
the waterfront
shuttles.
Yeah, they're not saying those are going to be free.
Oh, okay.
So, but they used to charge for them.
Yeah, I've never taken it, so I don't know how much it used to cost. I can look into that, but
would you pay for something like that?
Let's see.
Or would you only get on it if it was free?
I think it's a nice little perk, $500,000 perk the city had to put up.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
So as we look deeper into the press release, by the way, a number of
deeper and deeper.
A number of organizations and businesses are chipping in money. So
there we go.
Alaska Airlines, Amazon, Boeing, the Port, Microsoft, UW, Emerald Queen Casino. They are contributing as a whole $100,000. The city, though, is chipping in $500,000.
Concerns founded.
Concerns that okay.
Concerns still founded.
I'm just trying. We're weeding our way through the details.
Yeah, concerns still founded.
And how much is FIFA putting up?
This is the local organizing committee.
The committee, that's okay. That's
FIFA's not. Is FIFA putting up
anything?
anything?
FIFA organizing committee is.
FIFA's not putting up anything?
Well, I mean, that's
concerns founded.
The FIFA organizing committee is what makes sure that the city has a great experience and visitors to the city have a great experience with
These
FIFA
are the
World
same
Cup.
Committee who said that 750,000 visitors were coming to town?
And maybe they won't need the shuttle. If half the number of people show up, maybe they won't need the shuttle at all.
Actually,
they're preparing for the worst. Always prepare for the worst and you'll be ready.
That's true. That's true.
If my math is correct, so the FIFA organizing committee putting up $100,000, the city of Seattle putting $500,000. So you would think it would cost roughly $600,000 for this shuttle to operate throughout the summer months, and it only comes during the summer.
During the FIFA experience of the summer, or
this is an annual service that is provided, and now this year it's no free. Fare.
Okay.
I think they should start a new law where they're not allowed to call things free that everybody is paying for. Like you're calling it free, but it's not free because it's paid for by somebody. The government doesn't have the ability to actually offer anything free because anything that they have is derived from you and I.
Sure, I understand that, but it used to be that we were already paying for it through taxes, and they were charging us to ride it.
Okay.
So how do we just call it a single dip?
A single dip?
A single dip instead of a double dip where we pay for it in taxes.
A single dip cone?
Much like the ferries. We pay for them already,
I'm lactose intolerant. You know that. Yeah, you're totally right.
Single dip sounds nicer, doesn't it?
Single dip does sound nicer.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, whenever I do see free in a headline from a government agency, I do my best to not use that word. So
I think that's a good instinct because it's not free. We're all paying for it. And, you know, we're the generous. I mean, I'm not because I don't live in Seattle, and this is Seattle dollars. Is this a Seattle City Council? Or is this King County Council?
It's the King County Executive. This is a King County Metro program.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
this
I'm
is King
paying
County
for
dollars.
it.
You're
I'm
paying for it.
yeah.
On your behalf. I live in Snohomish County, but on your behalf, I don't want you being told that something's free when you're actually paying for it. What I would like them to say is...
Here's the thing for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
As a resident in King County,
yeah,
and what I pay in taxes, this $500,000 probably cost me what, 18 cents?
I don't know.
Maybe less.
Maybe less.
Maybe even less.
If you spread it across the number of tax-paying citizens of King County,
sure,
and how much our budget goes in and what comes out, let's say 18 cents.
Yeah.
I'm happy to give up 18 cents. I'd give a whole quarter.
Would you really?
I would. So that people can spend the whole summer riding that shuttle for free?
You're a very generous man.
That's who I am.
That's great.
Yeah.
You should. Send them a quarter.
Yeah.
That would be great.
All of them individually? Because that's a lot of quarters.
Not individually. Just your one quarter
Yeah.
for your portion of it, just so they can know.
I'll go throw it at the City Hall.
Todd, just flip it at them at a quarter. There's got to be a fountain.
Is there a fountain?
If there was a fountain in front where people can go and flip a coin, and not only are you walking out, you're getting a little something for your money because most of us are not going to ride these things, but you're also getting a wish. And that's a nice thing.
Sure.
And I wish they'd stop wasting your money and calling it free. All right, let's get to some stuff here. Katie Wilson. Aaron, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it.
We avoided as long as we could today.
Katie Wilson was at an event last night speaking about, here's another great investment in money that's free for a lot of people, light rail. The mayor was asked at this presentation that she was at this public event where she was speaking, by KIRO News. KIRO News really has this market cornered right now on the mayor not being transparent in talking to press. And so they pressed her again. We all know the famous Chris Daniels clip now from about a half a week ago. Mm-hmm. And I don't need to play it for you again, but he asks her a question. One of her junior staffers steps in, who might actually be her boss. I don't know, but he's telling her what to do. She steps out. The junior staffer steps in, takes over the interview, and basically says, I'm not letting her do this. And everybody was like, wait a minute, who's the boss? Who was elected to the position? Why isn't she allowed to answer questions? Who's telling her what she can and can't say? So KIRO News tried again. They said, hey, we'd like to ask the mayor some questions. And I think another missed opportunity here. Let's play this clip and then we can dissect it. Does that sound good?
Sure.
All right, let's play this clip.
KOMO's Jackie Kent was at tonight's forum. She's live tonight in Seattle. And Jackie, as Mayor Katie Wilson's advocating for the service, I understand she declined to answer your questions tonight regarding transparency.
That's right. Early this afternoon, I requested an interview. Her staff gave the impression it would happen after the meeting this evening. Well, that didn't after I asked the mayor directly in person.
Here's what I would say. KIRO News, they're like a dog with a bone on this story. Now,
they are.
They recognize when they've got something good. And they've got something good. I mean, that was a big gaffe on her part. What they should have done, well, you've worked in PR and stuff like that before. What do you think she should have done in this case?
The mayor?
Yeah.
When? How far back do I tell the mayor not to run? If I'm going back to cure the problem,
go all the way back to don't move to Seattle. 15 years
first
ago.
off, finish your time at Oxford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Graduate. Your parents invested all that money. Graduate.
Pay for your own daycare because we're going to fix all the problems. No, anyway, I kid. Here's the thing, though. This KOMO reporter. Now there's a story about the story now about is that we can't speak to the mayor. I mean, because in the KOMO piece, I say we requested an interview. She said, and Katie was at the not Katie's the mayor. Who's the reporter that we?
Katie Wilson's the mayor. The reporter's whoever the reporter was.
Okay. Well,
I didn't catch the name.
Where credit is due. He mentioned her in the piece.
It was a woman, actually.
It was a woman. Mentioned the woman. Well, the anchor mentioned that this reporter was at this event.
Sure.
The event was about light rail going into Ballard and going to West Seattle. It was a mayor listening to the constituency saying, "Look, we've invested. We need this. We need this for our communities. Don't stop short." Is the mantra down there. Mm-hmm. And they emailed the mayor's office. Can we request an interview about transparency after this get together about light rail,
which they then believed would happen?
Well, the mayor, according to KOMO, the mayor responded, "We should have time."
Yeah, so that's good.
That's no guarantee.
Well,
come on, let's be fair to the mayor.
Yeah, but given the story that we've all been talking about, which is the mayor doesn't want to make herself available to questions outside of the scope of whatever she's immediately discussing.
And now the story is we wanted to ask the mayor about not being available, and the mayor wasn't available to answer our questions about not being available. This is them. You talk about chasing a bone. They're chasing their tail. KOMO is just trying anything to keep this story alive.
Well, I think it's alive. That's why KOMO's doing the story. I think it's very much alive. What would you recommend she do in this situation? Anything different, or you think she did what she should have?
Again, I'd go back not to run.
No, but in this situation.
So look, if the mayor says you reach out ahead of time, because he said with regard to the Chris Daniels story, we're going to stick to the reason we're here today, the topic that we're all here for. We're going to stick on message. Luke Ducey's got great PR chops. He said the mayor's office needs to stick to message. The message was about the light rail thing was will it get to Ballard, will it get to West Seattle. That's what the get together was about. The town hall meeting was about.
Yeah, and he said,
Como
said you should answer the question how you want to answer it,
Right.
but it's a good idea to answer the question, but you can answer it in a way that you want to answer it. Don't just run away from it.
Well, so did the mayor not want to? Maybe the mayor doesn't want to talk about not being available for Chris Daniels, not answering questions from the media, just getting taking those questions.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So if Como says we want to ask you about you not taking questions, what's the mayor? What's the right answer for that?
The right answer is the one that the mayor started to give, which is that I'm going to try to be available after this presser, given all of the news and the press coverage surrounding the first time that she was pulled off screen by whoever that was.
Yeah.
That's a bad look. I mean, we can all admit that was a bad look. Given that conversation, step in. You've got a few days. In this case, you even have ahead of time. You have a chance. It's not even like you're being caught off guard. They put an email out ahead of time. They say, can we get a little time? So you prepare those answers, just like Luke was saying. You go over all the different questions. You go over the different ways that you can answer that question. You don't have to. Here's the thing. When you're in public office, you can answer the question any way that you want. You're not required to answer it any specific way. And that can be both very frustrating and wonderful part of that office. Can be frustrating for the interviewer, and it's also wonderful because Mayor Katie Wilson could say, hey, I'm happy to do a quick interview afterwards, and then they say, hey, you know what, we'd like to talk about the transparency, and then you have a canned answer that you've already discussed, that you've run through your PR people, and then the story, dead, because she's willing to do it.
The fact that the Como team emailed the mayor's team in office, can we have time afterward?
Yeah.
And they must have said about transparency. Yeah. So the mayor's office shouldn't have said, we should have time.
Well,
they shouldn't have said that. They should have said, you know what? Because we know what you want to talk about.
Sure.
And if the mayor's not ready within a couple hours after an event for a different reason that they're preparing her to address, which is the light rail, which is already a third rail, if you'll pardon the pun.
Sure.
That there's no great answer for these communities.
It's a good pun. I won't pardon it. I like it.
So I would have, if I were the mayor's PR team, I said, you know what? We won't have time after this particular thing. Why don't we schedule a time?
That would have been a good answer.
Specifically to the mayor's, your concerns about the mayor's transparency with media and the questions.
That is a good answer.
Again, this is just bad staffing.
That's bad staffing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing they could have done. Because now it's been, 5 days? The Chris Daniels thing was Thursday night? Is that when it was?
Yeah.
It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
5-ish days. You have an answer for that question. These are professional politicians. I mean, Katie Wilson might be new on the job, but that's a $200,000 plus dollars per year job. If you don't have a good answer within 20 minutes of that bad interaction, I mean, download the Claude app and he'll give you something. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways.
By city employees can use AI.
Yeah, you can use AI now.
Have you thought about using it for PR?
Use it for PR.
Yes.
Fire the people who are pulling you off camera and use Claude.
Seriously, this is another. You're right.
We're coming up with gold here. And it saves people money.
Here's the thing. I mean, Jason was on with us earlier. He talked about he was trying to reach out to the city council president.
Yep.
Here's the 5 questions I want to ask you.
Yeah, that's
nice.
I mean,
so what do if you want to talk to the mayor, you want to schedule an interview with the mayor, let's not do it after a previous scheduled event.
Yep.
That's a different topic. And if you want to talk about the mayor's views on surveillance cameras, we can cover that. If you want to talk about the mayor's apparent lack of transparency and accountability or availability to the media, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Let's set an agenda. Let's set a hard time. Let's not get something tacked on the end of an already scheduled meeting for a different topic.
Here's what I would say too. Here's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the Jack Ryan movies. Do you watch those movies?
Sure.
Okay. So
which iteration of Jack Ryan?
Well, there's many. I really like the Alec Baldwin ones, but for whatever reason they couldn't come to contractual terms with him. And then again to the Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Who
I like
was
the
phenomenal.
John. What's his name?
Krasinski.
He's great.
Krasinski's very good. It's a different. It's a different type of thing. Every one of them is. It's like Superman. Like every Superman's different. Okay, so in the Harrison Ford ones, and I think this is a clear and present danger when they're seizing the drug boats. Do you remember that?
Sure. Yeah.
So in the opening of the film, there's a horrible murder that takes place on the high seas on this really fancy boat, and the owner of that fancy boat, as it turns out, is a very good friend of the sitting president, and the sitting president and his staff are all figuring out, like, what do we do? Oh my gosh, we have pictures with this guy going back to college. He's going to be tied into this. They're going to think that we're bad now because we have ties to him. And on the boat, they found a bunch of drugs and all this stuff. And it was a bad situation. And Jack Ryan is sitting there, and Harrison Ford, he's got a lot of horse sense. He's sitting there in the office. He goes, well, as a matter of fact, Mr. President, I wouldn't take that tact. I wouldn't run away from it. I'd run towards it. I'd do the exact opposite. You're giving them a story by running away from it. He says, and you know what I would do? I would actually say, no, we weren't just, he goes, don't distance yourself from this guy. He says, don't just say that we were friends. Say we were lifelong friends. Don't just say that I hung out with his family. Say I was practically an uncle to that family. So that there's nowhere for the press to go. There's no daylight. The problem is when you're stepping in and you're leaving a void, it's going to be filled by something.
Right.
If I were Katie Wilson's team, and again, I asked Claude earlier, how would you handle PR? I didn't do that. That's a joke. But I would say to Katie Wilson's team, you know that this is a big story right now. The only thing people are talking about right now with Katie Wilson is her not wanting to talk about things that she's not comfortable talking about, which then makes her look inept and unable to do the job.
And her teams as well.
And her saying bye to money in Seattle. Those are both very bad looks. She needs to jump headfirst into those things and say, hey, Como, can I get a time to sit down with you guys? Boy, I really bungled that. I really want to express to you why this or that. There's a confidence there, even if they don't like the answer. That gives her the ability to control that narrative. And when you're not doing that, Como's doing exactly what they should be doing. And this is what all of our reporters here do as well.
Yeah.
We ask questions, and if they don't want to answer those questions, you ask harder, and you ask a different way, and you keep going at them. And until her office learns that, this doesn't go away. And she's just going to be defined by this.
It's getting bigger every day.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger every day. They're throwing gasoline on the... Exactly.
These are very
Maybe we should tell the mayor's PR department, just go watch this movie. It's 90 minutes of fun.
It's 90 minutes. It's fun.
And
a
some
clear
informative.
and present danger. It's very well acted. It's got some great lines. I promise you're going to enjoy it. And it's just a fun Hollywood romp. It's got great action sequences.
And you might learn something.
And you might learn a little something along the way. All right. What are we talking about next?
We can talk about the waterfront, was it Oodalali, the waterfront series they brought back last year, right to Pier 60, the newly refurbished Pier 62.
And then it went away.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's not it's not going to be this year.
Can we do
They're
that?
not having it.
Can we do that and some other fun stuff?
Of course.
Okay. We got a lot of it. So stick around. We're going to be right back.
We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Download the KIRO News Radio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO News Radio app.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. President Trump says the war against Iran could end soon. CBS's Linda Kenyon with the latest from the White House.
The president says it's very possible there will be a deal very soon.
They want to make a deal. We've had very good talks over the last 24 hours.
But any deal, he says, must include this.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't. And they've agreed to that.
At the same time, Trump issued a not-so-veiled threat.
Now we have to get what we have to get. If we don't do that, we'll have to go a big step further.
Earlier on social media, the president posted, if they don't agree, the bombing starts. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Washington taxpayers affected by last December's storms and flooding now have until August 5th to file their federal tax returns. IRS pushed back the deadline from May 1st and added 9 more counties to the disaster relief list. The extension covers individual returns, IRA contributions, and estimated tax payments. More homes, fewer sales. That is the latest snapshot of the Puget Sound housing market as we enter the peak season. Anton Alexander is a broker with Compass Real Estate in Seattle and says rising mortgage rates, layoffs, and inflation fears are keeping a lot of buyers on the sidelines.
There is fear of things kind of spiraling into, hey, is this actually going to turn into a crisis? So far, we have not seen that in any of the numbers that we watch or what's actually happening on the ground.
And Alexander says pending sales data is actually ticking up. Still, inventory across the region is also up more than 28% from a year ago. That's the highest level in about 15 years, he says. Emergency repair work is underway on State Route 20 near Diablo Lake. Crews there working to reopen the North Cascades Highway. They have begun inspecting a slope to clear debris and loose rocks that are blocking the highway. WashDOT says the work will take several days, keeping SR 20 fully closed between mileposts 130 and 156. That means no access for drivers, bikers, hikers, and campers. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All righty, here to Marysville. Just under 10 minutes. North 5 slows between the Boeing Freeway and Highway 2. Then you're in the clear. Eastbound 526 still slows, leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5. So getting to Everett, looking really good still between Seattle and Everett and Bellevue and Everett. Heading south into Seattle, we're stop and go now from 85th to I-90. 20 minutes from Linwood into downtown Seattle. North 5 jams up right at the West Seattle Bridge past I-90. Again, your bumper-to-bumper is starting just past Mercer to the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes now to get through downtown. South 405 scattered backups between South Bellevue and the Renton Landing. We've gone up a few minutes from Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes now. And southbound 167 starting to fill in a little bit in the north end. That south end, south of State Route 18 into Sumner, remains pretty heavy. Everywhere else, we're just starting to see the afternoon backups get underway. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. Looking at mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, but staying dry, and then a warmer weekend is also on tap. Right now, 60 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot to discuss. There's a concert series that was going to be happening again on the waterfront, which we will discuss in just a second. It's not happening. That's a spoiler alert. Why it's not happening, that's what Spike and I were interested in. So we'll get into that in just a second. But did you see this news? I know you have, but for the audience as well. Ted Turner, who was the guy who owned CNN, he was the
Atlanta Braves at one time.
Atlanta Braves,
yeah.
I believe.
Turner Classic Movies.
Turner
TNT,
Classic Movies.
Turner Network Television. He was at one point maybe the largest media mogul in America, along with Roger Ailes, who was not Roger Ailes, Murdoch.
Yep.
Rupert Murdoch.
Yep. He was also one of the largest landowners in all of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of acres.
Montana?
I think it was Montana.
Yeah, where he ended up spending his last years.
Which, listen,
riding,
if you're
fishing.
If you're a billionaire and you own half of the state,
why wouldn't you?
I would spend it there as well.
I hear you. Philanthropist?
He's interesting, though, because he is credited, right, with creating the 24-hour news cycle.
CNN was the first 24-hour news channel in existence.
And everyone
no
was
one
like,
else had the idea.
Yeah, everyone was like, what are you, nuts? News is entertainment? Nobody's going to watch news all the time.
Well,
That's sick.
His idea was,
You're sick.
We know what we can tell you in 24 minutes. Imagine what we can tell you in 24 hours.
Yeah.
That was his brainstorm.
It's
his brainchild.
It's interesting, though, because now we also have this idea now that news is... You cannot watch any of the news stations without a breaking news. Like when I was a kid, breaking news was really bad stuff that happened every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when I was a kid, they had CNN for many years, so it was all this.
I remember when it launched.
When I watch footage of things that happen, it's like, we have landed on the moon. Breaking news. Men have landed on the moon.
Well, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you this breaking news. Here's Walter Cronkite.
The rest of it was just news.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is like there's an urgency to the news format now where it's like, if you don't know all this information and you don't know it right now, you're already behind. It creates this anxiety in everyone. And I don't like that.
Well,
how does that rub you?
Well, I'm troubled by that, but I'm even more troubled by the fact that you got 24 hours to fill.
Yeah.
What qualifies as news?
Bingo.
You know, when you had a champagne glass, you'd have a champagne in it. When you got a bucket, you got to fill with anything you get your hands on. Otherwise, it's a drop in the bucket.
100%. No, it
right?
Makes perfect sense. Good
so
analogy.
Ted Turner he said, look, news channels, like radio is his inspiration. There are radio news channels that deliver news 24 hours a day. Why hasn't somebody brought that to television? This guy was like pre-cable.
Mm-hmm.
This was before there were cable networks. He was the first guy.
Man, he really had a future vision for.
He really did, and he changed the way we consume. You're right. Nowadays, it's like fear of missing out, FOMO. That's why people watch news channels all the time. I can't wait till 6 o'clock.
That's what it feels like, though. Like whenever we have a couple of screens on here generally, and a lot of times. With Spike and I, because we're a little more laid back, a lot of times we just switch it over to sports so that we can keep up with what's happening in the world.
We try to keep an eye on the news of the world. We have, not just because of Ted Turner, we have CNN on in the studio all the time.
Yeah. A lot of times we'll have Fox. We're getting two sides of things. But a lot of times it's cornhole.
I was going to say, when there's cornhole, news be damned.
We've got screens. We've got internet. What do we need news for? We've got cornhole and we've got the internet. We don't need the news channels. But the thing with the news channels, and Ted Turner, philanthropy-wise, he did a ton, I'm sure. He's a very wealthy guy.
He donated $1 billion to the United Nations Fund to try to cure the world's ills, and he challenged other philanthropists, billionaires. He was the first one to do $1 billion donation to the United Nations.
It's a lot of zeros.
Now Gates does it. Now whomever, you name it.
Yeah,
all the big ones. Bezos,
Musk,
all of them.
all those guys.
They all do now. Any good billionaire worth his Buffett. Any billionaire worth his salt understands that you can do a lot of good with your rewards of your hard work and your innovation.
100%.
Yeah.
But the news cycle is the thing.
That's what he gave us.
It's
blessing or a curse.
I think it's what he's going to be known for is CNN. And when I think about just the way that news used to be as depicted in movies, and maybe it's interesting because anything depicted on film is always kind of the best case scenario of that thing. Like when I look back at movies about Walter Cronkite and the way it used to be. These
Good Night and Good Luck, was that the most recent one about Murrow? That
the Clooney one.
Right? Yeah.
I think there was one with Seth Rogen recently where he played a news guy. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point I'm making is news used to have, I feel, you might disagree with this, it used to have an appropriate place in the hierarchy of how much you should care about it during the day. And it was late at night after you've gotten all your other stuff done, after you've attended to your job and your family and your local community. And
There's
then
a reason that still network news runs at 6 o'clock.
And then you check your news at the end of the night so you can become informed so that when you're having the conversations that really matter, which is the connecting with people during the day, in your local sphere of influence, you know what's going on. You don't seem like a dum-dum. But this idea now that it's like there's people who watch news all day, and I don't think that's healthy. Because you're being, like you said, it's a drop in the bucket. They're filling that bucket regardless.
All day long.
And if they're telling you that the most important thing in the world is a headline and it's a breaking and it's all these things, nobody's going to pay attention unless you think there's an urgency to it. So every single thing they cover for 24 hours has to be the most important thing in your life.
Our attention threshold has raised and raised and raised.
Yeah.
Then couple that with the fact that we've become so segmented with so many options for news. There are at least, 10 full-time 24-hour news channels nowadays?
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Can't swing a dead cat.
So you can cater to a specific point of view, which is, I think, why we find ourselves in these silos of information.
Yeah,
and
MS Now, Fox News.
Sure.
Same day's news, very different coverage.
We watch, we put up some days, we put up the two competing 24-hour news networks on TV.
Same stories.
Same story, different world.
Way different.
Right? And I think that it prohibits us from all being on the same page, if you'll allow.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
We see a story and it's just spin. Because you want people to keep coming back. You want people to be engaged.
Yeah, you want it to feel. Which is why you make it urgent.
That's why you make it a bleeding headline. Pardon the French. A bulletin.
Yeah,
a strolling news chyron. Because we can't wait till What's Her Bucket gets to that story. We've got to tell you with a scroll across the bottom.
Everything.
President Trump.
Cry on.
This blah 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 blah.
Words on screen. Worst thing you've ever seen. Bold red letters.
Right.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Anyway, Ted Turner passed away. And I'm not meaning it as like a. No. I'm not saying it as like a negative for him.
The guy who invented the handgun isn't a problem. It's how we use it. Ted Turner inventing the new 24-hour news cycle isn't the problem.
Yeah.
It's how we use it.
Yeah, it's like the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
The guy who invented dynamite is also the guy who gave the Peace Prize.
Nobel, right.
Yeah, to change the. I do wonder. I haven't actually looked into this, but like Ted Turner. So he was 87 when he passed away?
I believe that's right.
I think he's been disconnected from the CNN at all for a long time.
Well, he was a victim of merging. Because his company got bought out. And the company that bought him out was eventually sold out.
A fat check.
He was
can't even carry all the money they gave him.
Here's half of Montana.
I wish somebody would make me a victim like that.
But he was forced out of his own industry, his own creation.
Into a life of happiness and
fly fishing,
being what matters. Yeah, go watch the Madison and tell me you wouldn't want a fire hose of money sprayed across your face.
A river runs through his life, and you're welcome, Ted.
A river of money.
Right.
So here's the thing about
a river too. We fished.
I would be interested to find out like what his feelings on CNN were, like what it became, because it was different than what it started out as.
Yeah.
The 24-hour news cycle. Did he mean for it to be like every single segment has to be this breaking thing right now? You have to have this right now.
Yeah.
Or was it more like, hey, let's check in on the news?
It's a great question. I wish maybe somebody has.
He's probably written about it. He was probably asked about it.
There was a time when the news was different than it is today. It wasn't entertainment.
Yeah.
It was like a free
infotainment.
Infotainment that's another. Yeah, that's what it's turned into. Capturing eyeballs, keeping you around.
You got a TMZ on Capitol Hill.
Yes, right.
We got problems.
Right. Exactly. Do you ever? I'm a big fan of the show, The Newsroom.
Oh, the Aaron
which was
Sorkin?
Sorkin's project after The West Wing. So you know where I lean, you know why I like it. But the guy, Jeff Daniels, plays a news anchor.
Yeah.
Will McAvoy. And the opening pilot of that, they say, is one of the best 7 minutes in television history. It's where he's asked,
why is America the greatest
nation in the world?
And he talks about why he doesn't think so.
We used to be well informed by men we trusted who brought us the news.
Yep.
We were informed. And that was why we were the greatest nation on earth, is because we cared and these guys did the job of news directors. Of delivery men.
Interesting.
Cronkite, Murrow.
Yeah. Which even as you say it, I'm like, the news people had nothing to do with why America was great. But that's why it's great. We can disagree on these things.
There you go.
And it is a good show. I will say, I watched that show. It's well written, very well done, well acted.
Yep.
What's Aaron Sorkin doing these days? Oh, you know what he's doing? He's writing
fishing in Montana.
No, he's writing a follow-up right now. I read this. I think this is true. I'll share it with you, but I think it's true. I think he's writing a sequel to the Social Network.
Oh, you're right. He's writing that. You're right. I saw that too.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Great. Yeah.
That's going to be
a
good movie.
It's called Sorry. Same thing Ted Turner's like, well, sorry.
Is it called the Antisocial Network? Did I hear that correct?
It might be.
Anyway, Ted Turner passed away.
May rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yes, rest in peace. All right, we got text messages coming up next, so stick around. We'll be right back.
We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, we've got you covered.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages, which we're going to get to right now. Laura, go for it.
On a World Cup letdown for hotel bookings and Airbnbs, 360 says, I think Sound Transit came up with the numbers for the World Cup.
Oh, that's funny. Nicely done, 360. Nicely done.
Maya in Whidbey Island says, when the total solar eclipse was going to be in Sun Valley, Idaho several years ago, a huge influx of visitors was expected. Talk of massive traffic jams, opportunities to rent homes to visitors, no vacancies at restaurants, etc. Nothing much happened. All the hype about crowds actually scared people away. And I think that's probably got an element of what's happening here.
I really do. So I was looking, and I don't know if this is just one of those things where the algorithms chase you around, but I was looking into a lot of this stuff this morning, and now all the stuff popping up on my different websites is articles about how crazy it's going to get. I saw one about how they're going to shut down the streets around the stadium.
Right, for foot traffic.
For foot traffic. Yeah. And it makes total sense.
Sure.
If the crowds are to be expected. If the crowds are going to be what they're expecting the crowds to be.
Hell, if the crowds are half what they projected, it would still merit that kind of...
Well, here's the thing. Any single game is just going to be the same crowd as any single game.
Seahawks Sunday.
Do they shut down all the streets for Seattle Seahawks? I don't think they do.
No, they don't have. They have police activity down there. But again, this is a great topic because if the projection of twice as many people as the stadium can hold is real, are people going to come down? They shut down the streets for Taylor Swift concert because there was 20,000 young ladies and families outside
waiting around,
having a good time watching a screen. Maybe that's the same type of impact they'll expect.
I would argue that the fans for Taylor Swift are more eager to do that than World Cup fans who are not going to get a seat.
I don't know if that's the case.
Let me ask you a question.
World Cup is the biggest event in the world for a reason.
Let's say Taylor Swift is playing in Seattle.
Is she playing a good team like Belgium?
Let's just say
playing a nobody
Taylor Swift's going to give a once in 4 year concert in Seattle.
Okay.
And you are somebody who lives in, say, Oklahoma, or let's say you live in Peru. Who cares? You're a tourist that they're counting on flying in, and you don't have a ticket to the concert. Are you still coming to a Taylor Swift concert? Because that's what they're saying people are going to do for World Cup fans. And I just don't know if they have that fervent of a fan base. They're willing to fly to a different city if they don't even have tickets to the game. So I
think your concerns are valid.
I mean, it's just a concern. I'm not saying that's going to happen. And I hope they have 1 million plus. Wouldn't that be fantastic for the businesses?
Well, 206 says historically people do come with no plans to go to the games. They just want to be part of the experience and go to the fan zones.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible. All right. 206 says the World Cup is a big bust for short-term rentals. I have one. 2-day bookings during all of the scheduled matches. 2-day bookings during all of the scheduled matches.
2-day booking.
Oh, I have one 2-day booking. Got it. Thank you. And the rest of the summer is super slow. Way off booking rates from the past few years. Prices are too high on tickets, and it will be astronomically expensive to follow your team city to city.
Fair enough.
I do think the problem they've gotten into is they've hyped up so much that there's going to be crazy crowds. Now people might just avoid it. And then those crowds never materialize. Yeah. That's interesting.
Well, and just on people putting investments into Airbnbs, and Jacob in the 2x3 says investments come with risks.
That's true. Yeah, like Wall Street Journal highlighted that lady, spent $60,000 to update her house. Now she can't get anybody to book. But she's got a nice kitchen, so.
Well, yeah, she wasn't ready to spend that money on the house upgrade, but she got the house upgrade she always dreamed about. The kitchen she always wanted.
All right, what's another one we can do quickly? You want to do Delta, Spike?
Sure.
Russ and Bothell. Wow, if only airports had stores where we could go in and buy a soda or a water and some chips or cookies to take on the airplane with us. I don't know. Business opportunity?
Well, let's talk about the airport. Every little shop.
Yeah.
Between security and your gate. There's a reason that stuff is twice the price it usually should be. Okay,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, on expensive light rail expansion, Christine in Renton says this is so maddening. My bosses at King County are saying that we're tens of millions in the hole, facing layoffs in 2028, and they still can't collect fares for transportation. That was part of the deal with Metro and Rail. Fares equal funding, at least a portion of it.
Yeah, great text, Christine. Thank you so much. To all of our texters, thank you guys so much for participating in the show. We really do appreciate it. John Curley is coming up next, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on The John Curley Show, this afternoon at 5 p.m. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For years, I've been telling you how much we care for our hens and the land here at Wilcox Farms. But don't just take my word for it. Our family's commitment is backed by trusted third-party certifications. Hartley Wilcox here. Wilcox eggs are USDA organic, meaning no synthetic pesticides or GMOs. We're certified humane, ensuring our hens live with dignity and space to roam. We're salmon safe, protecting Northwest waterways, and recognized for sustainable farming practices. These aren't just labels. They're proof that every one of our eggs comes from a farm that values animal welfare, environmental stewardship, and your family's health. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. They're not only delicious, they're certifiably humane and organic, raised with care you can trust. Learn more at wilcoxfamilyfarms.com, because doing the right thing isn't just our promise, it's our principle. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 36